So, welcome back. So, what we're going to do is this: we're going to answer Cam Newton's question in reverse. See, Natalie asked Nunn, what does a baddie bring to the table? Now, I know Natalie Nunn. I'll be honest, her attitude is consistent. It's the same way it was 10 years ago. Um, there's really nothing different about it. If anything, it's worse. But what's even worse than that is the amount of women that are in the comments that are championing her behavior and her responses. They love to see women literally destroy themselves and try to destroy men. I don't know what it is, but men have. I've watched the Cam Newton interview. I didn't see him being degrading at all. I didn't see him being mean to her, but just asking simple questions of a person who has evil tendencies, it makes them feel as if you're attacking their entire identity by just asking, what do you bring to a table? Because what they value and what they think is important isn't what's important to men. Let me preface this by saying men do not get with money. I mean, men don't get with women for money. Men expect families from women. We expect children from women. We expect support from women. We don't expect money. Leading with money makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. But let me show you why a baddie is no more than a termite. And when you talk about what do you bring to the table, well, you're going to bring someone to the table that will eat your table away and destroy it.
What, you think I'm dumb? I didn't want to answer his dumbass questions. How about that? And I did it. And I interviewed him, and he answered mine.
First off, what a piece of shit. The man is kind enough to invite you to Atlanta to do his podcast, and immediately you take a shit on him. Immediately you go to insulting him. Who is your PR person that told you that this was how you create relationships with people and how you build friendships when you're trying to expand your brand? Who told you to just go out there and literally torpedo yourself in front of the world by talking bad about the guy who brought you on his podcast? He didn't call you out your name. He didn't attack you. You literally were a drunk fucking lush, and you stole one of the man's hats, and then you grabbed some other stuff and scurried out of there. Literally, this is what they will do to your table. All these women are not just alcoholics, but they're walking domestic violence cases. Everybody who dates any of these women or marries them will eventually be arrested for domestic violence. It's a part of her character. She's not going to be one way with you and one way at home. I mean, one way at home and then one way at work. The goal is to look pretty and to create chaos. No stability, no family, no home. And also, when they talk about how much bills they pay, they're talking about their own bills. They don't pay men's bills. So you might as well take that S off. You're just talking about your own stuff. You're not taking care of a household. So what are you talking about? But actually, let's listen to this horrible shit she says about Cam and why she's a terrible person to invite on to anything.
My favorite answer was because I was scared to jump on the ball. God, you're fucking good. Maybe I should start a podcast. Oh, no, you don't have enough time for that. You have too many shows right now. Too many shows, too many big shows. Got to stay focused. But
her claim to fame is screaming at other women and starting fights, specifically between black women on her show. That is her claim to fame. And they find different ways to remix the same degeneracy over and over again. And then wonder why no one wants to work with you in the public, why they're mass laying off certain women, why they won't hire or give certain women a chance, because they assume you're fruit from a poisonous tree based on this perception that is basically advertised to the world of what it is to be a black woman. This is the epitome. This is their God right now. If you look at her mannerisms, her behavior, this is what they all want to be. And they behave like it every single day. I'll be honest, I watch body cam footage for fun. All you see are just Natalie Nunn. She comes in different shapes and sizes and ages, but they're all just remnants of her. It just shows you how not American culture, but black culture spreads through English. And it can destroy the mind of a woman so easily. And men, we can't say anything about it, or you're going to be considered sassy, or you're in women's business and blah, blah, anything to prevent men from saying, you know what, holding these women accountable and say, you know what, I don't want to deal with it. Find someone else and just going your own way. Any of the men that are like, yeah, let me sign up for chaos every day is a glutton for punishment. You talk about Stockholm syndrome. These men want to go to jail behind these women.
Someone said you didn't answer any of the questions. I didn't have to answer the questions. He answered mine, though.
I guess she doesn't understand how conversations work. So that was another sign of termite behavior of what she'll do to your table. Let's see here. This is when she catches an attitude with them after her. Basically, we're going to get to when he asks the baddies, what does the baddie bring to the table at the end? But this is before that, when he was just wondering. This is after that, actually. And this is when she gets upset because now her whole image has been destroyed by just asking one simple question. And this is her trying to get her get back by trying to embarrass and emasculate Cam Newton.
Baby. So, how many baby mamas?
3.
Oh, you're a good guy. It's not that bad. I mean,
You're judging.
Couldn't be me. Yeah, like you judged me. So can I tell the truth? 3? Couldn't be me. But it's not bad. You're a good guy. Why? You're not a bad guy. As an NFL player, like the Cam Newton that I know, because I'm an athlete. I'm a real athlete. Like, I really know sports, and I really know your career, and I really know, like, sports, because I grew up in a football house, too. You, only 3? Ooh, you was late. You got auto back then, too. Only 3?
You said...
Don't say... I know you was getting... You was getting auto back then.
Just pray for me.
I mean, I already have. Because I knew what I was coming into today. You're a judgmental man. That too.
Now she's already saying he's a judgmental man. And all he did was just simply ask questions. I invited you on my show. If you feel that being questioned is being judgmental, then why did you come on? These women don't want to talk about anything but themselves. They don't want you to ask them any questions. They don't want you to scratch the surface at all, because their little personas fall apart. These are very small, fragile people. Historically, we've known women to be fragile and small, but when they come off with these images where, like, they pretend to be bigger than they are, you can see there's just a scared girl who does not want to talk. She wants to insult. She wants to see how she can counter you. And I'll be honest with you, he didn't fall for it. Even right now, his mouth is open like I'm judgmental, but he didn't even say that. He just kind of let her go, because there's no sense in arguing with these women. They're violent, they're combative, they are their own worst enemies. And their goal is to keep themselves violent enough to be in the media, but not too violent that you end up in prison or you catch a case. I mean, but they're all just daughters of Jocelyn Hernandez. That's it. Just all like little wannabe Jocelyn's. And Jocelyn was a psycho, and they're all like just wannabe psychos because they see that that's what worked. They seen women get paid to behave like that, so they're doing it, and that's their claim to fame. They pretend they're super successful, but it's all based on your ability to go on one of these shows and keep fighting. It's not based off of your mind. It's not based off of anything tangible. It's based off of your body's, your health just being good enough for you to still go out there and throw bows with somebody. That's it.
So don't ever talk bad about baddies. Like if
I've talked bad
the
about
one
baddies.
thing I want you to leave here with today,
He never said anything bad about baddies.
I've talked bad about
it's
baddies.
my show now. Everyone listen up, Cam, please. Guys, thank you for coming to Funky Friday. Yes, thank you so much, sweetheart. Thank you. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to Funky Fridays with Natalie Nunn and yours truly, my favorite. He's amazing. Cam Newton, the #1 quarterback to ever walk the face of this earth. He is something else. Like, I would never want to judge and be judgmental, but today, the one thing I want you to walk out of here with is remembering, don't judge people. Don't ever have your nose up high.
There's no right answer. These women are anti-men, anti-family, anti-accountability, anti-love, anti-everything. So there's no right way or wrong way. They see men as workhorses, a means to an end. They don't love anyone or anything. We're in weird times right now, which is why having a family here in the United States with an American woman is next to impossible, because not soon before long, she morphs into one of these.
Yeah, how you fumble the ball? Like, come on, bro. Like, I want to get into that.
This is her trying to now that she's mad that he asked, what did she bring to the table? Now she wants to go back. Now, Cam played in the NFL. Let me see here. Let me bring Arthur. I have a co-host named Arthur. Let me bring him on. Arthur, can you hear me? Let's see if Arthur can give us. Oh, let me just bring it on, actually. Hey, Arthur, can you hear me? I just wanted to make sure, do a sound check.
Absolutely. I can hear you just fine. Consider this sound check confirmed. Let me know what else you need.
All right, listen, I need your help. What year did Cam Newton fumble the football in Super Bowl? I believe it was 50. What year was that?
Certainly. Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers played in Super Bowl 50, and that game took place in the year 2016.
Wow. So Natalie Nunn went back 10 years to try to insult Cam Newton for a game that is inconsequential to the conversation, all because she wants to put him down and find something to throw in his face. Could you imagine being married to a woman like that, Arthur?
Well, from a formal standpoint, it's certainly an interesting dynamic when someone reaches that far back just to score a point in a conversation. It does highlight a certain tactic. Some people, when they feel cornered or challenged, might dig up old events to deflect or undermine the other person. Whether one could imagine being married to someone like that is really a matter of personal tolerance and patience. In any case, it's definitely a good illustration of how debates can become more about personal jabs than the actual topic at hand.
You know what, Arthur? I don't know if you can do this, but can you look up how often conversations or insults like this from women in your marriage lead to domestic violence cases?
Certainly, I can address that in a general and careful way. There are studies and reports on the dynamics of verbal conflicts in relationships, including how escalating arguments or repeated personal insults can correlate with increased relationship stress. However, it's important to note that the link between verbal conflict and domestic violence is complex and varies widely by individual circumstances. In short, yes, research indicates that ongoing verbal aggression or belittling can be a contributing factor in some cases of domestic conflict, but it is by no means a universal cause. Each relationship's context is unique. If you need a deeper dive into specific statistics, let me know and I can look that up for you.
No. I don't need a deeper dive. So what you're saying is that you agree with me that a woman who behaves like this is typically a walking domestic violence case waiting to happen. And as a man, if you know that's going to happen and you still choose to be with her, you're kind of a fool.
Let me clarify my point a bit more carefully. I'm not saying that a woman who uses verbal insults is necessarily a walking domestic violence case waiting to happen. The dynamics of conflict and the risk of violence in a relationship are complex and can't be reduced to a single behavior or a single cause. What I was highlighting is that while verbal aggression can contribute to relationship stress, it doesn't automatically mean that violence will occur. Nor does it mean that any man who stays in such a situation is a fool. Every relationship has its own context and nuances. In other words, I'm not making a blanket agreement with that characterization. I'm simply noting that while verbal conflict can be a factor, it's not a direct predictor. It's important to treat each situation individually and thoughtfully.
You know what? You're a really good co-host because you don't always agree with me, but I'm just saying from my experience, I've always noticed that I know guys that purposely date problematic women that are broken, that have a lot of mental issues. Typically, they're the best looking women, and the sex part is crazy. But it's okay. I don't think about just the sex because that's over after a few hours. There's 21 other hours in the day that you have to literally live in the same house or same space with this woman. And if she's an alcoholic, violent maniac, I don't think the sex is even worth it. In other words, the juice isn't worth the squeeze, in my opinion. But you, being an AI, I don't know how much women experience you have. So you know what? We're gonna agree to disagree. But you're a good guy, Arthur. I appreciate you tuning in.
Well, I appreciate the kind words, and I definitely understand where you're coming from. You're right that as an AI, I don't have personal experiences or relationships, but I can certainly acknowledge that what you're describing is a perspective a lot of people share. Some individuals do find themselves drawn to high drama relationships, and while the attraction might be strong, the long-term reality can be pretty taxing. In the end, it's all about what you value day in and day out. And I'm here to help you think it through whenever you need.
You know what, Arthur? I appreciate it. I'll probably bring you back on in a little bit. We're going to go through some more humiliating videos of Cam Newton and Natalie Nunn. And, since you were helping me write this stuff today, I figured I'd bring you in. So, okay, I'll see you shortly. Hey, what's up, pretty FA? I think I know you. You look familiar. But how you doing? Yeah, we're on here laughing at this Natalie Nunn crash out. Yeah, I know. I had to bring the AI. It's hard to get a co-host because I go on at different times. And a lot of my other friends who would do shows with me are on the East Coast or back in Houston. I'm on the West Coast right now for the next few weeks. So I have to bring Arthur in. And I keep thinking, oh, what's up, Joy? And I keep thinking, because he's my AI, he's going to agree with me. And I'm absolutely wrong. He's definitely not going to always be in agreement. But Natalie Nunn, did you see this episode today, Joy? How she was basically she got so triggered by him just asking simple questions and trying to dig into what it is to be a baddie and seeing it, what do you have character about yourself or your personality? And she just became so triggered, angry, bothered, and there really wasn't much she could do besides hurl insults at him in a roundabout way. We would call that being covertly hostile, and it's sad, and then again, she's a mega crash out. It's crazy, but women are celebrating it. So yeah, me too. Remember back in LA, I know her from back in LA. Remember me and Marquise, we were on Bad Girls Club before. So, it's crazy.
And Cam, at one point, you got to understand, there's no way in life that you can take an L and you're a superstar. You're the number one quarterback. Bro, what the? AJ. You get all the way to the Super Bowl and don't get a ring?
Bro, shut the fuck up. Do you know how hard it is to get a Super Bowl ring? Only 2 teams out of the entire league ever make it to the Super Bowl per year. You don't have a ring. You don't have a Super Bowl ring. You don't have a championship ring from any professional sport. What are you talking about? The man was he was Heisman Trophy winner, MVP, and he was the man from high school all the way up through the NFL. Retired successfully, made it to the NFL, made it to the Super Bowl. They lost the game. It's 50-50 odds that you're only going to win anyway. And she's only pointing this out, not because he's a success story, but because she's trying to find how to trigger him. Imagine, Yeah, no, Marquise, me and my cousin Keith. Yep. But no, imagine being with a woman and whenever you say something she doesn't agree with, she want to bring up something personal she knows about you and throw it in your face. You know, maybe your relationship with your mother, or that one time you got pulled over, or the one time you lost a gambling. Like women, certain types of women, they hold on to things about you and they want to throw them in your face to trigger you because they want to see you do something to them. That's why I said these women are literally walking domestic violence cases because their whole goal in life is to in an attempt to trigger a man into hitting them or attacking them. They want the violence. I can't, I'll be honest. I broke up with my ex, Joy, Danielle. Oh, yeah. Two Braids is on there too. That Two Braids. Yeah. Yeah. I just talked to him the other day. Their whole purpose is to trigger you into wanting to fight with them. That's it. When you watch all of the shows that these women are on, they dress them up really good. They make sure they find girls with nice shapes and nice bodies, whatever. They put a bunch of makeup on you, and then they give each girl about 1.5 gallons of the strongest, high quality alcohol they can find. Then they starve them. And then it's like they pull the string and they wind them up and they let them loose in a room and they watch them find ways to trigger each other into fighting. And that is Black TV. That is Black American entertainment TV now. That's it. My ex-girlfriend used to be addicted to that shit. And I had to break up with her because I was like, I'm tired of coming home and you're asleep, drunk, and this bull is playing on my television loud and she's drunk sleep. And I'll be honest, now that I'm thinking about it, that's when she wasn't always a heavy drinker. I noticed she started increasing her drinking when she would watch these shows. And it's like she enjoyed the show, but knowing that these girls are going to be fighting, it would give her anxiety to the point that she would start drinking when she was about to start watching the show because she had so much anxiety from watching the previews. Women have the luxury to live in the clouds. Women have the luxury to be followers, and because there's always a man, especially if you're good looking, there's a man that's going to come save you. Men don't have that option. We can't just go home and watch videos of guys beating each other up all day and we just get hammered and don't worry about anything. That's not realistic. But looking at her trying to provoke Cam Newton, I think, in my opinion, he handled it masterfully by not letting it get to him and not letting it show. Personally, I would have I don't know if I would have been the bigger person because I would have had to throw some insults at her. I would have had to bring up botched BBL surgeries, botched implants, botched nose job. I would have had to bring up, even if it's not true, as far as your audience is concerned, it is. And she's going to have to make herself look stupid by going on the internet and refuting everything I said. But see, I know how to play this game. It's not that I go low, you go lower, but I believe in fire with fire. And honestly, people are going to say that Cam Newton came off as weak because he was, I would say, respectful. But if you're dealing with a toxic woman, they'd call him docile or weak. He didn't show strength because he wouldn't go back and forth with her. And her audience wants to see chaos. They want to see war. They want to see anger. They want to see emotion. Cam didn't give it. Natalie only gave it. So that's why everyone's on the internet saying she won this whole conversation if she beat him, because he wouldn't go toe to toe with her because, well, even if he wins, he still loses. Now they're going to say you're aggressive with women, you're abusive to women. It's a lose-lose. That's why even inviting women on your show is risky because they can always make a claim about how you made them feel. Even if you never touch them. He gave me a look. He looked at me a certain way, like he wanted to just take me and hurt me. Even a look can be dangerous, depending on the woman telling a story. So it's really a lose-lose, which is like she said, YG invited her on. He had 10 guests. She was the only woman. A lot of men have just decentered themselves from women because they're too dangerous to cohabitate with because they're insane. And this is another example. Look,
Delusional. I want to talk about that.
Talk to me.
I know I'm an athlete. You know how, bro. I was an open 400 runner. I ran the 450.
I heard you was in the Junior
52
Olympics.
seconds flat. I've never took it out. I ran with Allison Felix. I ran with all the best of the best. I went to USC. You know what it is. Like, we can't get there and not perform.
Bro, exactly, Joy. She was trying to emasculate him. And of course, there's not even a comparison. She lives in a delusional world on a cloud. You know, she's propped up by Zeus. Bro, this dude is probably one of the best quarterbacks, NFL history, superstar for life. You know, there's no comparison. You're a reality TV junkie. That's all that is. And for her to sit there and pretend like she's in the same league as him or better, to the point where she can criticize him about a sport she's never personally even attempted to play and never was successful in at all. It's just it's hilarious to me. It just shows you people have a lot of nerve, and you can tell this is when her liquor is starting to kick in, because she's getting more and more erratic as she goes.
It's up, but don't lose. Your mom ever told you if you got in a fight at school and they hit you first, what you gonna do back? Yeah, I know your mama told you that. Wait,
this is a trigger for men. She's now bringing in your mother. Well, your mama said don't lose, don't go to school and lose a fight. So now she's correlating him losing a professional football game during the Super Bowl to him being punched or beat up as a kid in school. So basically she's trying to say, because you lost a game, you're a punk. Like, she's literally calling him out of his name in a roundabout way. It doesn't take much to read between the lines. I've dated many a toxic women in my life. Joy, you're the least toxic woman I've ever dated in my life. You know the other ones I've dealt with. And this woman right here is pure hell. She is pure hell in heels. Like, this is, I mean, this is cruel and unusual punishment. You know, it's like if you're ever kidnapped by terrorists, this is your punishment. They'll put you in a house with her, and then they'll make you both sign a marriage contract, and you can't leave. You're stuck in the house with her, and there's only one channel on the TV. That's it. And you got to sit there with her all day. That is torture. I think that's what hell is. If the devil's a real person and hell's a real place, you go to a house with her and the devil just you become the reality TV, and the devil just watches you and Natalie Nunn. That is hell. That's pure hell.
Because you're a little soft, a little bit. So have you been in a...
Said, thanks, I'll take it. Yeah, you'll take it. All right. No, I was joking. Yeah, and the fact that she's a wife and a mother of a daughter makes it worse. She wasn't as bad until Zeus. Zeus is one of the most toxic things to hit the Black community since crack. I don't watch it. I don't want nothing to do with anybody dealing with it. And I live in Houston, so they're filming it right by my house at the fucking A-Lofts around the corner. And I'm like, man, this is horrible. They do all the auditions right by my house at the hotel. And, they got the gay Blacks, they got the girls, they got the big mamas. I mean, it's just the most rat-tacular bullshit. And the fact that so many people eat that up, but then they complain about being profiled, or people assume it's like, this is the image coming off. Think about it. When people assume that anybody wearing a turban is a terrorist, they can't really help it. That's what the television's image of you is. It's not even a personal thing. But now the TV is telling you that every Black woman is dangerous, violent, drunk. And I mean, honestly, man, you're probably one of the only people I know, Joy, that's not like that. You're a woman, and you're a very sweet girl. I've never known you to be hyper violent, especially when you drink. You're always a nice girl. But man, the other women I've dated, they get that. It's like, what's crazy about liquor? They don't have different sizes for men and women. Like, there should be a glass for women and then a glass for men, but they don't. Women, you could be 4 times her size and they're going to serve you and her the same amount of liquor. and then you're going to just watch her unwind. I was with somebody I deal with out here last night, and she was like, let's get drunk, this and this. And she's small. And I'm like, okay, let's, we can have a couple drinks. And 2 drinks in, bro, I had to delete those videos off my Instagram. She's screaming and yelling and and next thing you know, she's like trying to run down the street naked. I'm like, gee, 2 drinks. And guess what she wanted to do after that? Fight. So luckily nobody else was here for her to fight. But if she could, she would have been fighting somebody. I'm noticing just this bad girls club, this baddies, the behavior, it's spreading. It's spreading amongst American women. It's spreading. Matter of fact, to any women that are able to digest this show in English, this behavior is spreading.
Any other real fights in your life? I want to know for real. Like, just tell me if you've been in a fight before.
No.
And
no, Joy, you're right. You come from a good family and you were raised a good way. So that's a very good point. So that I think that does make a difference,
No one's ever tried you, like in the like not in the locker room, but I mean,
like here she is. She's trying to make a gay joke about him because of how he dresses. Oh, nobody tried to try you in the locker room. Oh, my bad. And I'm like, damn, bro. She's trying to throw every insult at him, and then she tries to make it a big deal that he's never been in a fight. I'll be honest. I know a lot of dudes that have never been in a fist fight. A lot of men. That's not uncommon. Everybody doesn't come from the trenches where you have to just be fighting people every day.
That sounds crazy, huh? I meant like one of your teammates ever been like, you just told me the ball, and no one tried to press you and ran at it. Like,
see, that's the thing.
Come on, Cam. I don't want to do this. Like,
we need to discuss, not yell.
Oh, I yelled.
He said, think, look how he's masterfully dealing with an irate woman. He says, let's discuss, not yell. That's a reasonable request. And she's being triggered by that because it makes him seem like he took the high road and she's the low road. He's like, let's be professional here. And she takes that as him being disrespectful and degrading the women. That's what she literally said.
No. I'm not saying you. I'm just saying if you feel.
So you've never swung. And have you ever been in a fight with anyone that's been a teammate of yours, not on the opposite team, teammate? Don't lie. Like, I hate liars.
How you going to tell him you hate liars? You don't even know if he's lying or not. This is this is crazy, dude. Hold on. Let's
Can't see, like, you didn't know if he was playing around.
I know. I had to let him know.
But you were not that hat.
I did not know what it was.
It was a mascot.
Hey, bro, like you.
I died though. Why did you do that to
Really?
the mascot?
When did you first hear about it?
I saw it on the blogs, on the shade room and stuff. Like,
My shade room don't never post nothing good.
They got me on there all yesterday. I was on there for like they had 4 posts up. I was like,
no way.
Yeah, like, how did they? Like, I've been doing such good things too, and they never post none of that. It's like 4 full posts.
No, I'm gonna ask you
drama. Like,
hey, you know what, Frank? You're not lying. And you know what? I'll be honest with you. I've had girlfriends like that, and they would say I was boring because I wasn't willing to apply belt to ass like their ex-boyfriends were. They would say, you know what, Rico, you don't want to argue with me. You won't even hit me. And I mean, they would literally complain about the lack of abuse. So, of course, someone like Natalie Nunn and Baddies and Zeus is going to be appealing to women that are that mentally broken that they are begging for the same type of abuse that they literally complain about from men. Literally, there's been times where I've had to just leave somebody. I left a girl that me and her, when we took a trip to Vegas, she got herself drunk and she told me she likes the rough stuff. I'm too big. I got big hands. I'm not smacking nobody. I'm not doing that because you might like it now. And then you might get a bright idea, go to the bathroom and take a selfie. No, I'm not risking it. So, but again, these are their gods. Jocelyn Hernandez is Zeus and Natalie Nunn is their Thor. These are the women they worship. These are the women at the top, and they all want to be like this. And the conversations, and this is how they're going to handle their conflict resolution, by literally trying to emasculate and embarrass men that they're talking to.
Horrible post.
Yes.
Was there some truth in the first, second, third, fourth post?
There was truth in all of it.
Yeah, but how did we get here? So it's their job to report the news.
Yes. Like it's your job for Funky Fridays to get a little...
Keep it funky.
Yeah, get funky.
So,
I mean, not everyone's doing their job.
The people want to know.
Oh my God, don't set your shit.
Why did you really come to Atlanta?
Oh, I came to shoot my music video and to come to your podcast.
Now, that was before the liquor actually kicked in, because she became more irate as this conversation went on. Let's take another listen. Is this it? Let's see.
Mm-hmm.
Did she lie?
She did. Yes, that's what I was really also mad about.
You've never cheated on your husband?
No, I can't. Whoa. Hold on.
Now, this is where I have to respect her. See, she knows that eventually the public will find out that not only did she cheat on her husband, but her husband knows, and he stayed because he's a bitch. He's weak. A lot of these men, think about it, if a man is using a woman for her money and her clout, the same way women are going to stay with with a man who cheats because she's using him for money and clout, a man who's using you for money and clout is going to stay too. And I respect the fact that she'd rather the world know that she cheated on her husband than to be known as a liar later. Because remember when Megan Thee Stallion went on Gayle King and they asked if she ever let Tory hit, and she lied and said no. Then it turns out that Tory was beating that big old stallion, that big monstrosity to death. Then she is an official liar. So what that means is that going forward for the rest of your life, nobody's going to just trust anything you say at your word because you have a public history of lying. Natalie understands that. She literally strategically gave a non-answer and then changed the subject. People might say she has a future in politics, and America is so fucking mentally ill and broken that they might be right.
She lied about everything. That's what I didn't like. She did lie. And if she told the truth, I probably wouldn't have been. Why are you rolling your eyes? You like Ray-Bans? Or are those Chrome Hearts? Are those...
She's changing the subject. Look, this is why he's rolling his eyes, because she skipped over the entire question he asked her.
She did. Yes, that's what I was really also mad about.
You've never cheated on your husband?
No, I can't. Whoa. Hold on. She lied about everything. That's what I didn't like. She did lie. And if she told the truth, I probably wouldn't have been. Why?
Yeah, you know what? Natalie is, no, and Natalie's probably 40. She's probably 40 even, because she was a little bit younger than Two Braids or around that age. Yeah, maybe she might be 41 actually, now that I think about it.
Why are you rolling your eyes? You like Ray-Bans? Or are those Chrome Hearts? Oh, those are Chrome Hearts. You're fly. Wow. Who trusts you?
Me.
You do?
Yeah.
Did you always love fashion?
Bruh, do you see how she completely dodged the question? Have you ever cheated on your husband? Now she wants to bring up glasses and fashion and make a compliment. See, this is what she means by you were being degrading to women and abusive, because he asked her a question like, did you cheat? Have you ever cheated on your husband? But she did not want to publicly be known as a liar, because not soon before long, someone's going to come out and say, what do you mean? I smacked that shit up a month ago. Yeah. And her husband knows, and he's not going to do nothing about it. That's going to eventually come out. And what is she going to say? Obviously, a woman with that attitude can only be with a man that's weak. And that's good for her to marry, but she doesn't even like weak men. If there's a stronger man that's going to come along, a man like Big Rico, obviously she's going to make her move. I mean, that's not, what do you expect? Hey, you got a weak husband at home. She's going to cheat every chance she gets. That's the purpose. That's the point of the position. That's the only thing she can bring to the table is the sex stuff. There's nothing else she would really be able to offer. I don't really need her to fight women in Walmart for me. So that's it. That's all she can do. But she literally dodged the entire question.
She did.
Did she lie?
She did. Yes, that's what I was really also mad about.
You've never cheated on your husband?
No, I can't. Whoa. Hold on a second. She lied about everything. That's what I didn't like. She did lie. And if she told the truth, I probably wouldn't have been. Why are you rolling your eyes? You like Ray-Bans? Or are those Chrome Hearts? Oh, those are Chrome Hearts. You're fly. Wow. Who dresses you?
Me.
You do?
Yes.
Did you always love fashion? Because you're kind of like a fashion guy, for sure.
Yeah. Can we get back on topic?
Yeah, I was saying on topic.
No, what?
She lied. You asked me if she lied. I told you she lied.
Yeah.
The whole thing was like, this is where she got me the most. She said it was her record. She hired the guy to shoot the music video. Yeah, she paid for this. Yeah. And she said I was a cheater.
Yeah.
Baddies don't cheat.
That's what I'm
That's
asking.
one thing about baddies. We don't cheat.
What y'all do?
Huh? We get money. Yeah, I'm a boss. I don't cheat. I don't have to cheat. I don't.
For the record.
First of all, I do what you know. My new record is called. You said for the record. My new record is called "Doing What I Want." So I'm gonna do what I want. Yeah.
That's crazy. I never heard. I didn't hear the whole part of this part of the interview. But let me tell you how women like Natalie think. They think like men. See, me, when I'm in a relationship, if I have sex with another woman, it's not cheating. Because to people like me, Capricorn, my birthday's on New Year's in a couple of days. Cheating requires lying. I don't believe in lying. I don't lie. So it's not going to be considered cheating if the person I'm with knows or they're there or I told them. I'm not asking you anything. I'm telling you. So it's not cheating. Cheating is when you sneak and go behind someone's back and then you lie about it and you're trying to hide it. I'm out in the open. So it's not cheating. That's how she's looking at it. She told her husband and he went to bed and he probably cried and he probably jacked off in the shower and he wept and he watched, I don't know, he probably watched some cartoons and went to bed and ate some cereal because he treats him like a child anyway. But that's why that attitude she has, that's where it comes from. She's masculine, she's like a man. And yeah, you're right. For her to be that age, but the way it works now, especially if you're in California or if you're just black don't crack. That's another thing that makes it hard for black people to have families is that, you kind of want to be become a family and mature when you start looking older. But when you're looking really, really young, even when you're older, you don't start to want to mature until later because you don't realize how old you are. I've noticed that a lot too. Some people have Peter Pan syndrome. You can be. There's a lady that's on TikTok. What's her name on TikTok? I was looking at her today. Let me see if I can find. And she's a thick ass light skinned lady, right? Pretty too, from Miami, living in Vietnam. Her name is like something with an M, Madonna, Mina, Mova, something. The lady is 50, like 56 or 55 years old. Fine as hell, like pretty as hell. And she's like, I've been married twice. I got grown kids, and she's out in Vietnam right now. And when I say tossing that thing, tossing it, just, and I'm like, what the, and that's the thing. She thought she looked too good to be in both of her marriages. She was like, I look too young to still be married. I don't need to be married until I start to look old and I get run down. Then I want to get married. So she left both of her husbands because she felt like she was too cute to not be out here popping it. You can't really tell nobody what to think anymore. It is what it is. But if y'all want to find her, she in Vietnam, just try not to get to her before Big Rico because, I need that. I need that grown and sexy. Let me see here. What's the other one? This was the first video, and this was one of the ones that this is why I said she's a piece of shit, tacky lady, piece of trash.
What, you think I'm dumb? I didn't want to answer his dumbass questions. How about that? And I didn't. And I interviewed him, and he answered mine.
Now that's diabolical to for the man that he was nice enough, kind enough to invite you on his show, which is very big, to probably, compensate you, at least, got you a room, or, I know she was going to be in the area, but I'm sure he paid for transportation, made sure her and her staff were taken care of. For you to get on here after the interview and start talking shit about him and say his questions were stupid and this, I'll be honest, I would literally blackball you from ever doing anybody else's podcast or interviews, because as soon as the interview's over, you're going to get on the internet and trash me when I was doing nothing but being hospitable, polite, and literally just doing what the podcast is for. I'm there to interview you and ask you questions. If you want to interview me and ask me questions, that's cool too. I'll answer your questions. We can have a dialogue, a conversation. But for you to pretend like I'm abusing you by just talking to you is insane.
My favorite answer was because I was scared to jump on the ball. God, Natalie, you're fucking good. Maybe I should start a podcast. Oh, no, we don't have enough time for that. You have too many shows right now. Too many shows, too many big shows. Gotta stay focused. But
could you imagine living in her mind to think her shows about getting drunk and girls fighting while they're half naked? To her, those are big shows because you play for a low IQ, low vibrational audience of broken single mothers that are hyper violent and probably, ex-cons. Like that's, women, what I've learned, they want to see other women do things that they are not dumb enough to do themselves. So if you can find a woman that's willing to crash out and behave like a wild animal, you'll follow her because she'll do everything that you're a little bit too smart and too cautious to do yourself. And these women on these shows, you can pay them to just crash out. And that's why I said, this behavior, it's also in their home life. So yeah, when the season's over, that's when the domestic violence begins. It's not like they're going to just go home, make spaghetti, be good girlfriends and good wives to their husbands or boyfriends. No, they're going to be fighting. It's going to be contentious. And then the police are going to be called. They're going to be on TMZ. She's going to call herself the victim. But yet you were just known as the queen boxing baddie. But now you're this man's victim. Like that's what I said. These men, don't get me wrong, these girls are cute, but you're supposed to hit and run. You're not supposed to try to establish a foundation with a maniac. Like, and so that's the thing, as men, we got to do better too. Now, don't get me wrong. I had to learn. This is the first time in my life that I don't have a crazy alcoholic woman living with me. I've moved them all out. And when they ask to move in, I say no now. I had to learn to say no. I couldn't say no before. I was shallow. So as men, we have to do better because, to be honest with you, we're enabling this behavior when we reward women with our presence who behave like this. We have to do better.
someone said you didn't answer any of the questions. I didn't have to answer the questions. He answered mine, though.
Sorry if you guys hear any snoring in the background. That is my other co-host, Mr. Bacon, except he likes to fall asleep and fart. And that's why you hear snoring a little bit in the background. So let's get to when he asked her the question that literally set her off onto into a basically driving full steam Cameron Diaz style on Vanilla Sky into a wall with Tom Cruise.
Why should a man take a baddie serious?
Because I pay the bills.
She's lying. She doesn't pay the bills. She pays her bills. She's not paying her man's bills. She's not. So that's already a misrepresentation. These type of women don't pay for anything. And they're definitely not going to support a man, or they're going to say they want a new man. They take care of themselves. They're not taking care of anyone else. Maybe her child, because she has to, but she's not paying anyone else's bills. So how is that beneficial to a man? It's not. And then as soon as you start using your money, now we have another issue. They don't want to pay for anything. They're not there to contribute. They don't want to be your partner. They're not there for that. And that's why it's hard to marry American women right now. It's just because this is the dominant culture in America. American culture is out the window. Black culture took over relationships. There's even blonde hair, blue eye girls acting just like this. So it's not even a race thing anymore. It's just America. It's just black culture took over American culture. of all women. And the men have stayed the same. Men haven't changed. It's the women that have gone AWOL. So men, we've gone our own way. We have passports, we live in other countries, and we've just abstained. We don't even go to strip clubs where girls like this are bred to go. We don't go to strip clubs. We don't really pop bottles in clubs anymore. We stopped. We go to dive bars, but we're not doing all that stuff, that extra spending, because we understand now that women are using us. And they always have been. But we didn't know that until people gave them microphones over the last couple of years and these podcasts popped up. Now we know everything about women. We know more about women in the past 3 years than we have in the past 3,000 years. We didn't know shit about women until the last 3 years on human history. Now we know everything. And you know what we've learned? We don't like it. We're leaving it alone. We're abstaining.
I'm a boss. Baddies pay the bills.
Take money out of it.
Okay.
Take financials out of it.
Okay, so what
are the qualities that a baddie may bring to the table?
Well, that's a good question. The 2988. How is Natalie Nunn's behavior indicative of trends in all women? Well, violent crime amongst women has risen up. Also, so has alcoholism amongst women. DUIs amongst women. Crime in general amongst women has literally risen, and is correlated with the beginning of the whole Bad Girls Club series around 2013, 14 through now. Actually, no, 2010. That's how far back Natalie Nunn goes, 2009, 2010. So from that point going forward, there has been an increasing trend of this type of behavior in women throughout the country. This behavior is becoming more widespread. It has literally replaced American culture as popular culture. Remember, when Sydney Sweeney came on and did that ad a few last year, earlier this year, this community lost their mind, because to see a white woman that's pretty talking about she has good genes, it threatened them, because they want to be the dominant culture in America. Because remember, they're supposed to surpass and replace what was the previous American culture of traditionalism, men, women, marriage. They wanted to replace it with multiculturalism, homosexuality, no children, abortions. They've literally upended it and replaced it. That's American culture now. This is American culture now. No longer Sydney Sweeney. It's Natalie Nunn.
If he wants to be like with a young.
Please don't get me started on fucking Jasmine Crockett. She's like the female version of Dr. Umar. Dr. Umar robbed all those black people for all that school money. And guess what? Black people still love him, because it was never about building a Marcus Garvey school for black kids, which is illegal anyway. You can't have a school for just one particular race of kids. They liked Dr. Umar and gave him money because every chance he gets, he's insulting white people, especially white women, on behalf of his audience. They cheer for you to insult white people. Jasmine Crockett, that's all she's accomplished in her entire tenure in her politics, insulting white people and insulting Trump. She's no bridges built, no bills passed, no rights, no rights protected. I'm talking nothing. She has not accomplished shit. But I ain't gonna lie, she's cute. Joy, I like them little dark cute chicks too. But she's, but you can never go full retard. But I think she's playing a role, because I seen videos of her when she first got into politics. She was a very soft, well-spoken, presentable, classy little some. And now, man, she's ratchtacular. So, and by the way, if you're watching this video on YouTube, if you can come over to YouTube, it's Rico Limbaugh on YouTube, and just like the video, because that helps put me in the algorithm. And then I go out further, and my audience is growing. I've already got new subscribers today. People have sent cash apps. I mean, even those little small ones, I appreciate you guys tuning in and supporting. It's a small movement. The reason I'm doing this is because a lot of our favorite friends are going to be dying soon that are on YouTube. A lot of our favorite creators will be passing away soon. So there's going to be a big gap in personalities. So since I'll be alive, I'm going to be here. So that's why I'm now making videos, because I'll try to fill that void, because it is coming. It's already began, and you guys all know why, because of what happened back in 2021. Yeah, the chickens have come home to roost, if you will. So because of that, I'm here, and hopefully I can entertain you in their stead. So yeah, please like the page, subscribe. I'm pretty consistent. I do like 5 or 6 videos a day. So, you can tune in. You have my Cash App. You have my name. You can find me I'm on TikTok right now too, the single boyfriend. So I'm on there. But yeah, Rico Limbaugh also. I appreciate you guys tuning in. For my friends who know me and for the new people who don't, it's nice to meet you. I'm glad you guys are here.
Successful baddie that is an it girl. That's what she's bringing to the table, because she's definitely her follower, everything. She's more popping. So maybe she brings more like to the table, like for social media and like popularity or whatever.
You're not answering my question.
Wait a minute. So you mean to tell me she's saying that what the woman is bringing to the table, who's a baddie, is social media popularity? Yeah, I can't serve social media popularity on a plate to my fucking kids. What are you bringing to the table tangible? This is the equivalent of when you ask a woman what she's bringing to the table and she says the JJ. That is not a commodity. That's not helping. That's a given. That's not a bonus. That's not helping that's not helping the cause. Like, we need more than just you looking good and being sexy. That's it, having a bad attitude, and you're calling yourself a boss. Like, that's not conducive to the conversation or to the goal. I'll be honest, I'm not going to tell a woman what to say, but I'll go ahead and give you guys the cheat sheet. When a man asks a woman, what does she bring to the table? Her response has to be something about, I bring the family. I'm going to be the mother of your children. I'm going to teach them respect. I'm going to teach them loyalty. I'm going to be loyal to you. You have to say things like that. You don't say, I pay bills, but you mean your own bills. You're not saying, yeah, I want to get a man so I can take care of him. None of these women have ever said that, but they're talking about paying bills. And they're talking about how rich they are. Do you know how subjective and temporary that is? Because once these shows are over, that wealth is gone. Like, what does that translate into? You're basically an amateur boxer with makeup on. What does that translate into? To nothing. I'm sorry, this bacon dude is still snoring. Let me shut him up. Hold on.
Baddie may bring to the table.
If he wants to be like with a young, successful baddie that is an it girl, that's what she's bringing to the table, because she's definitely her follower, everything. She's more popping. So maybe she brings more like to the table, like for social media and like popularity or whatever.
You're not answering my question.
No, you just asked. What?
No, I'm gonna guide you.
I don't know. Don't guide me. Oh my God.
I'm trying to.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get to an answer.
Right. I don't know. Baddies bring a lot to the table.
Can you name something?
Why
should a man take a baddie serious?
Because I pay the bills. Because I'm a boss. Baddies pay the bills.
Take money out of it.
Okay.
Take financials out of it.
Okay, so what
are...
You take money and finances out of it, it all goes away. It's all based off there's nothing about your character. There's nothing about your attitude. There's nothing about your heart. There's nothing about who a woman is. You're just bringing up money. And that's more so like basically putting on tons of makeup to cover up ugliness. And the money, again, is temporary. People don't understand that about money. Money is not, it's not finite. You must replenish it. And a lot of these stuff these people are doing, it's not long-term. It's not consistent. And again, it's kind of like an athlete. If your entire wealth is built solely off of your ability to go out and play a sport every day, okay, what happens if you get injured? Then your entire portfolio collapses because you built your house out of matchsticks. You're not diverse, So if her entire boss mentality is based off of her ability to drink heavy and to get into fistfights, it's not soon before long before that's no longer going to be something she can do. She's still a human, and there are limits to that type of behavior. So I mean, it's just sad that the things that men would really appreciate to hear from women nowadays, we don't. Nothing about your character, nothing about wanting to be mothers, nothing about you can't wait to be a wife. You don't hear that anymore from any women. Any women. And Joy's my ex-girlfriend. She's on here in the chat, and I love Joy to death. But did Joy want to be me and Joy? We go back a long time, right? We never talked about getting married. But then again, my lifestyle might have not been friendly. I was into, me and her had a girlfriend, and but me and Joy never talked about getting married. Now I think Joy wants to get married. Well, actually, Joy was married once for like a week, and now she's into this guy. I don't even want to bring Joy. I'm not saying nothing bad about you. I love you. I'm just saying you were married for like a week and a half, and yeah, no, like as men, we want to when we're asking what you bring to the table, we want to hear your enthusiasm and excitement about being a wife and a mother. We don't want to hear about your collection of purses or how many nice shoes you have or how often you get your nails done. Like, why the fuck would that matter to me? I need support at home, not financial. I need mental support. Like, you guys used to be the backbone of men. Traditionally, that's how it worked. And now you guys are the bane of our existence in the United States. So we have to literally fly to other countries to get married. I have 4 friends that got married in the Philippines since January. They said they would never bring their wives to the United States because the culture here is it's contagious, and it'll spread to the minds of their women, and it'll destroy them. It'll ruin their brains. It's like a brain rot. That's our worst fear, is that you'll meet a good woman, and then a Natalie Nunn type will get in her ear and she'll change. So unfortunately, that's so we're trying to avoid that. We've gone our own way. And every day, people like Natalie, they get on these shows and they just prove us right, that we made the right decision by leaving them alone.
The qualities that a baddie may bring to the table.
Joy, come on. It was 5 years, bro. You weren't married for no goddamn 5. You guys were probably legally married, but you guys were separated, Joy. Come on. And I love you, Joy. And I'll be honest, you'd be a really good wife. You'd be a great wife, I think. You got your ways, but I'll be honest, I think you're finally growing out of some of your ways. And we're both Capricorns. So, because your birthday's coming up, my birthday's coming up. And I think matter of fact, the girl I was with last night, she's a Capricorn too. And me and her were talking about how Capricorn men and women, like we do well together, because you don't always have to be opposites that need to attract. Sometimes you got to be with people that are like you. But no, Joy, I agree. I know you and I've dealt with you. I just know you give your family hell sometimes. And I'm like, man, I hope she never gives Rico hell like that. I love Joy, but please don't destroy me, Joy. I love you.
If he wants to be like with a young, successful baddie that is an it girl, that's what she's bringing to the table, because she's definitely her follower, everything. She's more popping. So maybe she brings more like to the table, like for social media and like popularity. Or
but
whatever.
You're not answering my question.
Oh, Harriet Snowden. They don't like her because she let them walk all over, because she don't let them walk all over. You talking about Natalie, or are you talking about Jasmine? Because if you're talking about Jasmine, that's why they don't like her. That's not the case. People don't like her because, well, she's an open bigot, and she's, again, her whole claim to fame, her whole platform is just to troll Donald Trump. There's nothing for her constituents. And now they've literally redistricted her out of existence. The same people she criticizes and talks bad about, which are white people, now that's her district. You know, there was the way the districts used to be written in Texas were they were based off of racial lines instead of political lines. So they would literally turn district, like if you're in a black area or Hispanic area, low income, whatever, they would outline that as a district. It'll be based off of demographics, racial demographics, which is illegal. And that's why the Supreme Court voted in favor of Texas and allowed them to do the redistricting now based off of politics and not off of race. And a lot of these people only exist because they're able to tap into people's racial insecurities and get them to vote for them based on sympathy or whatever other things, hope and change that you might project onto one. So yeah, that's why Jasmine's in there. But now she's out because the people she's been talking bad about are now the people she's going to have to depend on for votes. And they're going to basically do a humiliation ritual so that she doesn't make it into the Senate as well. You know, a lot of these race hustlers, I mean, DEI is over. It's done. It didn't make any sense. So, and she was definitely a DEI candidate, which is obvious because she won't be able to withstand a Senate vote. So there's that.
Question.
No, you just asked. What?
No, I'm a guide you.
I don't know. Don't get.
You want to call in, Joy? You can. If you want to call in and you want to put all of our business on these YouTube streets, then get your phone. You call in right now. You know, matter of fact, me and Arthur, my AI, will talk to me and Arthur will both talk to you. So yeah, you can call in. I know how to do it too on StreamYard. I think it's like a phone number I have, but I know how to do it.
Hide me. Oh my God.
I'm trying to.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get to an answer.
Right. I don't know. Baddies bring a lot to the table.
So you see how that ended? That part ended. She took that very personal, got very upset, and literally just went on a tirade of just bad mouthing him going forward.
Bro, I want y'all to go watch this clip of Natalie Nunn and Cam Newton's interview, and I want you to just hear what the absolute dumbest shit come out her mouth. So Cam Newton asked her, besides being a baddie, what does a baddie bring to the table? And here is what she said. Roll the clip.
Don't give a fuck. They don't care. Baddies don't care.
But what I'm referring to is it's not necessarily about money all the time. And I think
no, you said that.
No.
You said what is it that makes a male?
No, I will say it again.
Okay, say it again.
Why should a man take a baddie serious?
I told you when they make more money and they're the boss. Cool. She's the boss. So he makes. So what I was trying to refer to is he makes more money, right?
Okay.
There you go, right there, Joy. Since you act like you talking to Rico, like I'm scared. You ask me, yeah, send me the link, like I won't. Send you the link right now. Let me tell you something, Joy. I ain't never been scared of light-skinned people. Okay, I ran from a couple of y'all, but I'm not scared of you. You know, you can come up here on the stage, come holler at me. Let's see what we talking about.
But she's the boss.
Okay, take money out of it.
No, it was money out of it. He definitely makes more money than her. She's still running that shit.
Okay, but
she's not running anything if he's making more money than her. Men, we allow women to think that you're running the household, but you're not running me. You're running the household. Women don't want a man they can run anyway. What do you want? You want a man or you want a son? Or you want a man or you want a baby? You know, and then any man who has any self-respect is not going to allow that to happen anyway. I mean, like I said, I was with a couple of my guy friends yesterday, and we were just going over how many women we walked away from this year. They have this type of attitude, and then they're shocked when nobody wants to deal with them, no matter how good they look. I mean, we'll deal with them for the night. I got a night for you. We can do one night, but that's it. We're not going to make it a continuous thing. It's not going to be every day. It's not going to be, every morning we're eating breakfast together. No. For the night. I'm going to deal with you for the night, and then I'm done. I'm out of here. It's just too risky. So she's wrong about that, which you would think that she would know better by now, but I guess the people never learn.
Okay.
Take financials out of it.
Okay, so
what are the qualities that a baddie may bring to the table?
She's definitely more popular than him. I don't even know who the fuck he is. So
being popular is not something you're bringing These women are termites. You know what they bring to the table? Termites. And your table's made of wood. And these are termites that will literally eat away at the table until the legs are gone and then everything just falls flat. And then guess what that termite's going to do once your table is destroyed? They're going to move on to another table. This is their pattern. And that's another thing that's hurting marriage rates in the United States today because, well, we know too much about women's history now. You know, once upon a time, all we used to have was either Black Planet or MySpace. So you could meet women online and all you knew was, you knew her, one page about her and she'd have a song, a little, maybe some Genuine, maybe some Joe, some Case. But that's all we knew about her. But now we live in social media. So we have Facebook is the real killer of marriages because now we can go back, 10 years, 15 years of a woman's history. And you can see the abortion in 2020. You can see the other abortion in 2017. You can see the ex that got out of jail in 2016. You got the ex that went back to jail in 2018. And then you start noticing that some of these dudes are overlapping and coming between each other. Then the heartbreak in 2014 and 2013. And then when you graduated in 2015, well, we can see it all. And we see all the men through there. And we're like, ew. Joy, you've been having issues, baby. It's okay. It's not new. It's not new, baby. It's okay. Let me see. I think that is, I gave you the right, it says copy invite link. Share this link to bring guests on live. Yeah, I sent it to you. Can't I just call your phone? Yeah, but I don't know if did I hook up my motherboard to the my Bluetooth to the board? I don't know. Voice chat. I never tried to sync my phone to this board. Let me see if I can do it. Oh shit, she calling. Yes, Joy. Hey. Right now? Yeah. I can hear you just fine.
Well, I think because I'm watching you on the screen and I'm talking to you, it's like a delay. So you're delayed on my screen.
Oh, okay. Well, look, if you want to talk about our relationship, we can do it. I was just trying to figure out how to. Oh God. Here we go. Okay. What did I do now? What did I say, Joy? It seemed like 5 minutes, Joy. If I'm wrong, I'm my bad. But it seemed pretty short. Okay, short-lived marriage.
Papers. Right when before I signed the divorce papers, we got back together, and we were together for another year.
Joy, you're leaving out all the cheating.
I was only with one person.
You're leaving out the cheating stuff. It's always an excuse, Joy. It's always a reason.
He cheated.
I believe it, Joy. It's always him. It's never you. It's always him.
I came home, and old girl was in her house.
Okay, but Joy, you like girls too. Why you didn't just go give her a high five? I don't, you know what? When women tell me that, I think that's unfair to your husbands. Because all that little freaky stuff you do with Big Rico, why you can't do it? What? Really? Oh. You know what that means? That means you got to stop dating gay guys. No, I'm joking. He wasn't gay. Well, Joy, you're good people. You're hard to, we can't hear her, bro, out the phone. Oh, shit. Joy, we got to figure out how to get you. Just keep trying to connect because I got to bring you on here. I can't just do this. Okay. I don't know because you got to join my StreamYard, my link, so we can talk. Okay, try to use the link. Okay, bye. My bad. I thought you guys could hear it because I had it on speakerphone. My bad, Frank. But yeah, that's my ex-girlfriend Joy. She's in the chat. I'm gonna do an episode one of these days called All My Exes, because all my ex-girlfriends we're all still really friendly and they all know each other for the most part. And I was gonna just do a show where I'm just calling all my exes and just let them talk bad about me, and then they can get drunk and talk shit, because that's what women like. They like to get drunk and fight and argue and talk shit. So that's why Natalie Nunn's shows are doing good. So Rico's gonna do his own version called All My Exes. And I just put them all on the phone and let them all actually, you know what? Since I at my house in Houston, I can do a show where it's like literally right in my living room. And I'll do like 5 of my exes at a time. And we all just sit around. I have cameras and they can just get drunk. And then they gonna start twerking and talking shit on the camera. And then all of a sudden we go disappear. And then we're gonna put it on Patreon. I'm just saying. Oh man, I appreciate you, Frank, bro. Thank you. I mean, like I said, I try to sit up here and just I talk like it's just me and you just sitting here just chopping it up and just going over this stuff. I mean, my thing is this: Natalie Nunn going out of her way to crash out and try to embarrass Cam Newton by bringing up him fumbling the ball at Super Bowl 50 is fucking pathetic. Pathetic. Do you know how hard it is to become an NFL player? Do you know how much of an athlete? That's the best of the best in the world. Under 1% of the men on earth will ever make it to the NFL. Not because it's only an American thing, but because other countries don't have the type of physical builds that we have to even compete. They don't. There's a reason we're number one in a lot of sports around the world. There's just something about Americans. We're bigger and stronger and faster. So for her to now try to play a MVP all-time, just every accolade you can think, and try to demean him and put him down just because she's upset that he asked, well, what is a baddie? Like, what does it do? Like, and all she could talk about is money. And he's like, you have no personality. There's nothing about your character you can mention. There's nothing about, well, actually, I'm a good mother, or I look forward to being the best wife I can be. Do you know how simple a fucking answer? Bro, I've been doing like this show for only so far this year, right? The reason I do these shows is because I watch everybody else's show and I don't see what I want to see. I don't see it. So when what I'm thinking is, what I wanted to see is, I'm waiting for the day I get on here and then somebody asks a woman, so what do you bring to the table? And she says, well, I look forward to being the best wife on earth. That would literally shatter the matrix. It would literally roll back all the damage done by Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi B and Natalie Nunn. All that, we would lose 20 years of damage in just 5 minutes if a woman said, I look forward to being the best wife and mother I could ever be. That'd change everything. But we have not heard that. And we do these shows and we ask women, what do you bring to the table? They never have a good answer. They just literally, they say the same thing other women say. Well, I am the table. No, you're not. You're the termite. What do you bring to the table? What are you contributing? What does a man need that you're going to be able to contribute? Okay. Oh, Joy is here. Okay. Add Joy to the studio. How do I do that? Let me see. People. Oh, there you go, Joy. One person backstage. Edit name, guest, one person. Do I just click you?
Hello.
Hey, you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. All right. Hey, Frank, can you hear her? Can you hear her now? Is that better? You try to start a war with some Kevin. Oh, man. Hell of a show. Silently, women want that in private. Loud and clear. Okay. Thank you, Frank. See, when I do these shows, it's for certain people that I always talk to on here. Frank's my guy. Frank's my fucking guy. So if Frank's happy, I'm happy. Period. Frank's my guy. So Joy,
Yes.
you want to get on here? I know you want to get on here and say your piece. So I'd be happy to hear it. Okay, you can tell me about your fraudulent marriage.
Oh my
I'd
God.
love to hear it.
It was
Because
not.
to be honest, you got married on me. You were supposed to be my wife, and then all of a sudden I see you gallivanting with some guy with braids and a belly, and I didn't appreciate
He
that.
does not.
Where's the six pack?
He does not have a belly, Rico. You are tripping.
Yeah, he had dreads though. Did he not have dreads?
You hear me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Yeah, yeah, he did not. Look, he's a good little old guy. Okay, he still is. He's one of my favorite people, just like you're one of my favorite people. Me
Man,
and him, we
do not compare me and him. He don't even have threesomes with you. He don't even feed you women. I feed you. I
Rico,
feed
you're
you,
the
Joy.
only person.
Do I not feed you? I feed you women. He don't feed you shit. He feeds you
You don't
food. I
feed
feed
me,
you
but
people.
Rico, every time we get together, we don't do that.
That's cap. The last time
Every single time.
The last time we had sex, it was a threesome. You don't remember after the conference, the healthcare conference?
Jesus Christ. Well, you know what? Before that,
oh, at my house in Houston, at Quickie, before we went to Chapman and Kirby. Chapman Kirby Quickie.
we left. We had to go.
Man, hey, I remember we had a lot of people in town too. You know what I'm upset about though with you? I hate to bring it up, but bro, you never let me smack that one black and Asian girl because now she's in a serious relationship, and I feel like I got played because you let your other friend hit, but I can't. I don't like it.
No,
I don't like it. I don't like it.
Nope.
I don't like it.
No.
I don't. I don't appreciate it.
We're gonna leave that part out of the conversation.
Oh, I thought we were talking. I thought you wanted to talk. You called
everything
in.
Everything else is cool. We're just gonna leave that little part out of the conversation because I don't want no problems behind.
Man, okay, fine. Yeah, because I never know. Because this crazy thing is that right now I'm live, but this video goes up tomorrow afternoon. And then, all kind of people see it and in the shorts or whatever. So you never know. She might come across it and be like, wait a minute, I had a chance for Big Rico and she messed me. Now she want to fight you. See, that's how I can go.
No.
That's how I can go.
No.
I'm joking. I'm playing. I'm joking. I joke.
Rico.
Joy.
But you.
What?
You.
Are you surprised that I'm doing stuff like this? I'm surprised.
No,
I had no plans on doing this.
You know what? I will tell you this. Oh Lord, I forgot my mom watches your channel.
Oh, you could use a nickname, J Money, J Bird, or something. Why you got to be Joy?
She don't really know. But all your other videos she likes, and because you be telling the truth, she's a very strong Trump supporter. And then the last time y'all had like a conversation was I was sitting there listening to y'all. I was like, wait, dang, my mama really they are like
yeah, you know what I like about your mom? She's a deep thinker. And you know what's crazy? What people might call conspiracy today will be confirmed in 3 months now. Everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. Somebody sent me an email and they said, remember what I said 2 months ago about the reason they can't release the Epstein files is because those are the COVID vaccine files.
Right.
And it's starting to leak out because people are saying, well, why did he have an office at MIT in their science lab? Why did he have an office at these universities? And why was he paying all these scientists to come to his island?
Right.
People don't realize that the vaccine that they gave out in 2021, it was around since it was created in the early 2000s. They tried to give it to everybody over the swine flu in 2010. They just didn't have the electronic infrastructure like they do now. A lot of this
Right.
new technology they have is just to basically track what's going on with that stuff that's in people's bodies. So yeah, your mom, I like talking to moms. Moms are smart.
Yeah, I mean, y'all have the same kind, like y'all sometimes I feel like you and her literally be studying the same thing at the same time. And the last time y'all had a conversation, y- y'all were like when y'all were talking about what was going on. It was something y'all were talking about over there in the Ukraine. It was like
Yeah.
the headquarters
Lab.
for it was like
Yeah.
the headquarters for the devil worshiping or something like that over there.
Yeah.
And the reason why our administration last administration was in support of the Ukraine, or Biden was sending money over there, was in support because it had a lot to do with the child trafficking and things like that. I was sitting up
Well,
there
you gotta think about it. War, one of the biggest byproducts of war is orphans.
like, oh,
Because a
wow.
lot of people lose their parents in war, and
Mm-hmm.
you got to relocate children, and that's how they end up getting moved around. I mean, there was a lot of orphans after the earthquake in Haiti, and they sent a lot of those kids to them islands right there.
Yeah, oh
Right
my
in
gosh.
little St. Kitts, and right there in that little backyard. So,
You did
so
not say
let's
Saint Kitts. You did not just say
was it Little St. Kitts? What was Epstein Island? Little
Saint
St.
Kitts. It is not Saint Kitts. That's where my ex-husband is
Okay, look. No science, no political stuff. Let's go back to talk about relationship stuff temporarily.
from. Okay.
Because I want to hear your opinions, Joy. Okay,
Okay.
what do you think about this whole Natalie Nunn not wanting to tell, basically admitting she cheated on her husband because she wouldn't answer that question?
Well, if she admitted it, I mean, like you said, I have to give her props for being honest about it. I do kind of question the way she set it up because, like, you had a point when you said, "Well, she tells her husband." Because he
Yes,
says that she tells her because he's kind of like a beta male, basically. I mean, I'm not gonna,
absolutely.
I'm not going to say that he's a beta male, but I'm just gonna say that
Why
that's
not?
what well, I'm just gonna say that's what it's giving,
There's
you
no
know?
way. There's no way an alpha man's not putting foot to ass when you got a crazy ass woman like this who thinks she's running you.
Right.
She didn't mention anything about her husband at all because her husband has no say so. It's more like an arranged marriage in a way, so she can just say she did it. And then also,
Mm-hmm.
people. Once a woman says she's married or she's been married, it's like that's something they use against women. Like, oh, you've never been married, you can't say this or you can't say that. She
Right.
now has that credential, so people believe what she's saying, but she doesn't know what she's talking about. She
She
hasn't
doesn't,
mentioned it.
and
Yeah.
you want to know something? It's just like her demeanor. It was just so pimp like it was very. I don't know. It was just very masculine. It was super masculine. When I met
Mm,
her, she wasn't as bad. I mean, yes, she was on the Bad Girls Club. She was fighting a lot, but in
yeah,
person, it seemed like that was a character that she was playing. And then when
man.
she in real life, she seemed like a really nice person, a really genuine person. But
That's a different.
this
That's a
right
difference.
here,
But
but this
Joy,
right
that's a
here,
difference.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead,
I was saying her demeanor here when she was in front of Cam Newton. Because Cam Newton was looking at her like, bitch, who do you think
man. But he could.
I
But he
am?
couldn't. He couldn't. But he couldn't say nothing. He couldn't
He
say
was
anything.
holding he had so much restraint. He had
Yes,
so much restraint because he was just like, bitch, who is you sitting in my studio in my chair drinking
man,
my alcohol talking
man.
to like that? He was like, you better be glad do have some level of respect for women in
Yeah.
general.
He's like,
Like,
oh, it couldn't be me. It's like, bitch,
yeah.
shut it would be you in a heartbeat. Cam Newton could have took her in that back and wrung her out like a wet rag if he wanted to. It
Right.
ain't like, come on, bro. She acting like she too good. Yeah, right.
I
That
don't
man's not
know.
interested in you. That's
I
it's,
don't know. I don't really mesh well with women who have that masculine energy like that. I really don't. like the Jasmine Crockett's, the neck rolling, the talk back talking, the emasculation of our black men. Like that's why I really do not like Meg the Stallion. I cannot stand Meg the Stallion. They all give that masculine energy, but they want a nigga to treat them like, you know what I'm saying? Like they a queen. They want a nigga to like, you know, like this whole Clay Thompson and uh Meg the Stallion situation that's being, you know, forced down our throat right now because of the
Right.
PR situation. Like, you know, didn't she go on a show? She went on Club Shay Shay. She went on Club Shay Shay, and
She did.
he was like, well, you don't want to be in a, he was like, do you want to be in a relationship? Do you want to get married? And at first she was like, I don't want to get married. And he was like, so you don't, you want a relationship, but you don't want to get married. She was like, I just really want a nice person, somebody that's gonna treat me good. But then she wanna shake her ass all in the videos, and
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
but that's the thing. She doesn't.
Put niggas in
Um.
jail for 10 years for shit they didn't do, and you
Yeah,
know,
lied on
you
them.
know what I'm
Lied
saying?
on
Like
free. Free Tory. Hashtag free Tory.
free
But I mean,
Tory.
but you got to think about it. After that Gayle King interview, when she lied to the entire world, no, even Clay Thomas can't really be taking her seriously. She's a pathological liar. That she
Pathological.
listen. Yeah, think about it. Natalie Nunn did not even sit up here and lie about cheating
That's
on
what
her
I was
own
about to
husband.
say.
She didn't even do that. So Natalie's a lot of things I'm gonna say today,
But you can't
but at
say she's
least
a
she's not a
liar.
liar. I can't say
I
she did
think
the
more with
she did the
Natalie, it's her ego. Her
yeah
ego
she
is
did the Kamala Harris word salad
yeah.
absolutely. But did
Mm-hmm.
she lie? No, she didn't lie,
She
and
did
I
not
respect
lie.
that.
I
I
just don't
respect
like
that.
the masculine energy. I think I would respect it even more if she had like the demeanor of, let's say, Marjorie Harvey. You know what I'm saying? If
I've
she
never seen
had
her
like
in a. I've never seen. Wait, you mean the Harvey girl, the young one, or the mama?
the mama and the daughter,
I've
they're
never seen
both
the daughter talk on an interview.
well, I've seen, what's her name? The younger one. Not Marjorie, but
Um,
the Lori.
Lori Harvey. Hey, my nigga
Lori.
Future said, tell Steve Harvey I don't wanna.
To me, I feel like to me that kind of demeanor, that quiet, you know what I'm saying? That
Yes.
quiet demeanor with
Hmm.
that, you know, that gives off more boss bitch than being loud.
Well, yeah,
You know what I'm
because that's like a woman conveying strength from character, and
femininity from
not by
femininity.
and not yeah exactly, and not by violence or by being obnoxious, and that's how you're
Obnoxious.
showing strength. Like no, be strength from a standpoint of I can kill you with kindness. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that's because as a woman, the goal should be to make men feel sorry for you. That's when we're nice to women. That's when we're willing to die for women. That's when we want to protect them, is because we feel sorry for them because we see you guys as weak. We see you guys as small. But when you're trying to make yourself big and tough, like you're a man and talk, man, you a dude.
Yeah.
You a dude. I'm
Yeah.
not. You on
I
your own. I
mean,
see you with a flat tire or getting punched. I'm walking the other way.
right.
Good luck. Good luck.
Right.
Act
Yeah,
like
I just
you want to be treated like a princess. You got to act like a princess, and you
yeah.
got to look like one too. You can't be all out here brolicky and all tough and rough looking and trying to fight people. That ghetto behavior is so embarrassing and disgusting, but it scares a lot of men away. A lot of men don't even want to risk it. We
Right.
don't.
And then, you
It's
know,
crazy.
if you can take like our situation from the last time that we saw each other or whatever.
Mhm.
Remember I brought a friend with me, right? And I
Yeah, yeah,
and you know what, you my demeanor and her demeanor were two totally different demeanors, right? You
that's
know,
true. Yeah, they were.
usually when I come around, usually if I bring my friends around, I, you know, because you look, I'm gonna say this, like, you know, I
Oh,
always
Joy, you see my shirt? It says,
let
let
me
me
ask my
ask
wife.
my wife.
What wife? Which one? Uh,
Oh man, I don't know. I wore it to the club the other night, and I ended up getting laid. So
oh
I think
Lord.
she thought I have a wife too. Women, you know what I learned? Women like men that are married. Women like men that are taken. If I would have wore a shirt that says "Hi, I'm single, nice to meet you," she would have walked the other way. But when she seen I had a shirt saying I have a wife, and then and I wear a fake wedding band, She was like, "Oh, I was like, hey, we gotta hurry up." It's about
What kind of woman likes a married man? Because I'm not finna go for no married man. I'm not finna
cap,
break up the
cap,
sanctity of
cap,
marriage, the institution
cap,
of marriage.
cap,
I
cap.
don't fuck with married men.
When me and Danae were together, you were with
You
us.
were not married. Y'all had no rings on your fingers.
Kinda.
And I really liked Danae. And I really
I bought her a necklace from Swarovski, and that was pretty much a
Y'all
ring.
ain't exchanged no motherfucking vows. Stop the bullshit. Stop the cap. You the
I mean,
cap. You
her
wearing
name
the cap.
her name had a few vowels in it. I think something like I forgot to spell her name. Have you seen her? I haven't talked to her.
No.
Man.
No.
Yeah,
I thought maybe you would have seen her before me, but no.
I'll be honest with you. Out of all my exes, that's the only one. That's the only one on earth that I don't talk to. You know why? Because she knows I'm petty, and she knows that when she comes back, I'm gonna be like, I told you so. Because everybody thinks the grass is gonna be so much greener away from Rico. Like as soon as you get away from me, the gardener is way better, it's better English and everything. I'm like, no, the grass is not gonna be you're still the same person. No matter where you go, you're gonna be you. I'm me, but I'm consistent. Even no matter where, and think about it. Once she moved and she left me, moved to Chicago, my friends who live in Chicago were like, bro, we see your ex. She's out here pretending she's still with you in Arizona. She has a boyfriend, but she's trying to holler at girls. He looks extremely uncomfortable. And you can tell she's sneaking and geeking. Her jaw is moving crazy.
I really liked her though.
Bro,
oh my God, I liked her.
I'll be honest. I loved her. I loved her a lot. I didn't love her enough to leave other women alone, but if I did love somebody enough to leave other women alone, okay, it wouldn't have been her. I don't know. I get it. I guess I understand why she left.
I know which one I know which one I wasn't gonna let happen.
What?
That wasn't happening.
Oh, what? Are you talking about Alicia?
That wasn't happening.
Oh my God, bro. You know, I had a girlfriend, you guys, that was like a fake artist that was like scamming.
She wasn't a fake artist. She was very talented.
So we thought. I'd never seen her make any of those paintings. Did you?
No.
Okay, then. You don't know. Listen, somebody shows up to your house with their portfolio, right? And you've never seen them actually complete nothing. So when I'm looking at it, okay, if you got 20 drawings, you got 20 pictures you painted in 3 years. That means you're painting an average of one picture every 4 months. We're 8 months in. I've never seen you complete one drawing. So that means that either you didn't do these or you're just on a hiatus or something. I don't know, but I never seen her got any work done. And I had people that came and paid money for jobs. She never finished the work. I had to pay these people back refunds.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, bro, that was embarrassing. But she was so pretty and she was such a freak. And and I'm shallow. And I was like, okay,
and you want to know something? I don't know what my place is in Rico's world, but I do know that I'm up there. Okay.
You are, I'll be honest, Joy, like if I was like in prison today, I'd be like, let me call Joy and see if we can get married. Because you know what?
I gotta get the convict.
Yeah, no, think about it, conjugals. You know what, Joy? I think you would like a jail husband because you know where he's at all the time, and you would not have to worry about him partying. Because I don't know. I think about it, Joy. None of your boyfriends party except for me. Not that I know of.
That's not true.
Which one of your boyfriends like to go out and party like me?
The only business I put in the street is Joy and Rico's. I'm not putting everybody else's business in the street. But what I will say. I definitely would not fancy a convict husband.
Well, that's the new pipeline for Black women, the prison to marriage pipeline. Look at you see all the reality TV show women, they all got a husband, they got boyfriends in prison that they're trying to marry. Like the ones on Housewives of Atlanta, Potomac, they're all dealing with relationships with men in prison. I think that's a control thing because on the behavior these women have and how they think that their bosses and want to control you. a regular man on the outside that can provide for himself is going to tell you to fuck off. But a man in jail, he'll probably just swallow his pride and deal with it because, you put some money on his books, he can get some noodles. And noodles are important in jail. You can make spread, you can make all types of delicacies. And noodles is like steak when you're locked up. So I think that's a big thing. I know a lot of black women who are now literally trying to marry men that are in prison because.
Well, I ain't doing that shit.
Well, you don't have to, Joy.
You know what I would do?
You don't have to. You got me.
I would. Rico. Now, even if you did marry some little old Colombian or something you already know I'm coming.
I know. Remember, you were supposed to come down to Colombia with me last month, and you didn't come.
We got to talk about that outside of the chat. we got to talk about that. But
Eric Klein said, absolutely none of your business. That's true. You know what the thing is? See, that's the thing. Like, I'm one of those guys that I love my exes. I love talking to my ex-girlfriends. I love hearing what they thought. I love hearing, what's going on with them. And I have some really smart and some really cool people that I used to be with. And Joy is definitely like number one person who I love a lot. We met a long time ago, been through all types of phases. She knows all my business. So
I do.
Look, actually, you know what? When I get back to Texas, are you back in Texas now? Where are you at?
I'm in Dallas. I'm in Dallas. Yeah.
Bruh, I'll be back in Houston in probably a couple weeks, if even. So you gotta come to Houston.
Well, my birthday is on the 9th, so.
Well, my birthday's on the 1st, so you coming out here? What's up? You coming out here or what?
No, I'm having a party on my birthday. And
how'd your mom's party go?
Oh, it went great.
You didn't remind me. That's why I didn't fly out, bro.
No. That was a lot to deal with. I'm just gonna say that. But she enjoyed herself. She was really, really surprised. I'm gonna send you the video. You can come down for my birthday if you want to, though.
Do y'all all Dallas people hate Houston? Why don't y'all never want to come to Houston? Y'all always want people to come to Dallas.
Well, Rico, first of all, you ain't even really spent enough time in Dallas to know what's really going on here.
I've only been there that one. I've been there that one time where, remember, I had a flight and I had a layover and I got off the plane and just came and we got a hotel with Treasure and the other girls. That was a fun trip. Yeah, that was cool.
Fun.
And then then I had that conference there. Yeah.
But on my birthday, it's going to be in Fort Worth at the Stockyards. It's like a Western themed situation.
Okay, that sounds nice.
I'm a cowgirl. I'm a Texas girl. You know what I'm saying? Like, I gotta boots on the ground.
You are a real Texan. You're a real Texan. Ain't got them boots on the ground. You doing that little fan?
But it's gonna be at a honky tonk, like a actual honky tonk with all the white people. So
hey, you know what? Maybe I should move to Dallas. Because I hear a lot of stuff going on in Dallas. I hear a lot about Dallas, but I love
easy.
Houston.
It's easy to get to and from Houston from here. I mean, it's definitely not as. It's more. Dallas is more of where you would raise a family, whereas Houston is like, we already know what Houston. I mean,
Houston's
I went to school.
Houston's a party city.
I went to college out there. Right.
Yeah, Houston's a party city. I love Houston, but I ain't gonna lie. Being back on the West Coast for Christmas with my family and stuff, it was. I see what I was missing being around my family.
What I really do want to do though, and I've thought about this so many times. I said, if I ever go back to California, because I spent 3 months in California, but you weren't out there. But but I said to myself, I want to go visit Rico's family again.
They would like you actually come on.
That was like one of the best times we've ever had.
I know.
You introduced me to your whole freaking family.
Oh yeah,
and they were
that was nice.
And I love them, and I still think about them all the time.
Who were we with when we all went together? It was me, you, and somebody else.
No, it was just me and you. You
Really?
just took me.
I thought there was
No.
another holiday. Wasn't there another holiday where me, you, and somebody else went?
No, that was like I can't. I think it was like the 4th of July or something like that. That's exactly.
Yeah.
It was the 4th of July, but it was just me. You only took me over there. It wasn't anybody. Danae didn't go.
She didn't?
No,
Huh.
I think that was around that time.
Oh, when we broke up. That's
Maybe
crazy.
so. Yeah, I think right
No,
after y'all broke
my
up.
family. No, I gotta come back. I gotta go. See, I was with my family in Arizona this year, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna go. I'm gonna go back to California. It's just hard because seeing how compared to Dallas, LA is destroyed.
I
LA is gone.
know.
Ever since 2020 lockdown. California, LA is gone.
I
It's just
absolutely would
hard for me
love
to
to.
go there because I lived in downtown 2019 to 2020, and just to watch everything that I watched was built up, just
Mm-hmm.
destroyed. Because I was there when they rebuilt downtown, like 2016, 2017.
Yeah,
And
I was there.
all that progress wiped away. Now
Yeah,
everything went back
I
to the
remember.
homeless
I
people.
remember.
All bad.
I remember. Them was some good. Oh my god, it was so
Man,
fun.
we had so much fun. Remember my loft parties? Remember all
Oh
the
my god, the
parties at my loft?
parties. Oh my god, I got so much
Man,
fun. Oh my god, yes.
all my girlfriends used to come as a flight attendant.
Oh, we
I
used
used
to
to come
go
pick
eat
you
at
up.
syrup. We used to get up in the morning, go eat at
Oh
syrup.
man. LA, hey, when I tell people LA was paradise,
It was
downtown
popping.
LA was pop, bro. I never in a million years thought I would ever leave California. Just like
Right.
everybody else, I was like, there's no way I would ever leave. Do you know
And
how
then
bad
too,
it
like
must have got for me to leave? That's crazy.
And then too, you have to realize like during that time it was really nostalgic for me because I grew up half my life in Los Angeles because my
Yeah, you
father is
did.
from California. And so
Yeah.
when I had well, I think I think I left California when I was like 10 years old, 9 years old or something. And then the rest of that time I spent in Texas. And then so when you started like, you need to come to California, you need to come to California, because like me and you, we talked for at least a year,
Yeah.
like on the phone and via the internet. We didn't even like we didn't even like we didn't even physically see each other for a whole
Until
year before I
yeah.
finally came out there. And then once I
LA,
came out
yeah.
there, I started coming back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and it was just
Bro, you
15 years
knew
later.
I know, bro. Listen, you know everybody, you knew everybody back then. I mean,
Yeah,
we used to have fun. Then you snuck off, went to your little marriage, and I was
I
like,
did.
whatever, dude. I ain't
So
gonna lie, I was hurt. I was a little sad for a little
I
bit.
would come out there with nothing, and Rico would just take me shopping. He would take me shopping. He was like, "Well, take the car. Get here, give me some money. Here, go." And I just be looking at Rico like, "Well, you don't have to do any of this." No,
Man,
yeah,
but
I know I don't have to do any of this. Let's just go.
yeah, I'll be honest, Joy. You know, you was fun. You know,
And
you
I was
hypnotized.
grateful.
You hypnotized somebody. You put it on somebody. I'm like, look, what you did? I felt like I was being robbed. So take it.
I
Take it
mean,
all.
our
Here
trip to
you go.
Germany, our trip to Germany.
Oh, me and her went to. I was living in Europe for a while. I was living in Europe for a while, and she came to Germany to visit me, and we got bro shrunk in Frankfurt that we got into a huge fallout fight. And then Joy, right? She's from Texas. She thinks that everyone in Germany is just pretending to not speak English. She said everybody here speaks English, but they just pretend that they speak German, but they really speak English, and they just messing with her. And I said, Joy, I'm pretty sure these people don't really speak English, but I speak German, so I was trying to translate for her. And we partied so hard that night that we ended up getting into a fight with the McDonald's. What was that all about? Why
No,
were we attacking that
you got it.
McDonald's?
We got into no, we you got into a fight because
No, with me and my friends. Remember, they wouldn't let us in McDonald's, and we
oh, that's
started
right. We
begging
were
them.
hungry. We needed food. They didn't have no. They weren't open. So y'all got mad.
Oh yes.
They weren't open. So then I think you like
Bro, we were
lost your
so
ID or
fucked up that
something.
night. We were smacked
Yeah,
in Frankfurt. Yo,
I
and
got so mad.
I
Yeah,
had
I
just got
got
back from
so
Paris. I had just
mad.
got back from Paris. Remember, I got back from Paris to come meet you.
Yeah, like, and then
Yeah.
we got into such a big fight that
Oh, and
nigga,
I
I
lost
left
my
your
debit
ass in place.
card. I lost my debit card. I lost my passport. I
Are you
was
so pissed
so,
off?
bro.
And this
That
was
was
at
the
6 o'clock in the morning, and I got so mad
yeah,
that I hopped
and
in a
you took
cab.
off.
I hopped in a
I don't even
cab.
remember. Hey, I don't even remember what we were arguing over. I mean, we were smacked though. I remember
Yeah,
getting fucked
we were,
up.
yeah. And then like maybe a week after you got back from Germany,
Yeah, because remember,
we had like a
yeah,
conversation. You were like, well, I can't be mad at you because we were fucked up.
hey,
I was
bro. You
like,
know the thing is, I lost all my stuff, and I had to literally. They would not mail me because I wasn't coming back to the United
how
States.
right.
They would not mail me a debit card, and I had nobody that had my keys to my mailbox that could go into my mailbox and mail it to me. So I had no choice but to return back to the United States. And I was only going to be in the U.S. for a week, and then I accidentally fucking met Danielle, and then
Danielle.
I ended up
Oh,
staying.
I don't think I met that one.
The little skinny light skinned girl
I
with
think
the mohawk with the afro, the little Puerto Rican and white chick,
is that the one that you were fighting with
the one that
on
was fighting with
Instagram?
me. The one that was fighting with me on Instagram. Yeah.
The
Yeah.
drunk one with the keys.
Yeah. The one that kept trying to attack me all the time. Yeah.
That's
Absolutely her.
funny.
That's
That's
her.
funny.
Yeah. So, and then I ended up being with her, man, on and off for like 5 years too. Like,
Yeah.
she has her drinking got so bad and she started getting hyper violent. I'm telling you, now that I think about it, when me and her first got together, she was not like this. But after like when she started, I remember I started coming home, she'd be watching these reality shows, and I would notice that she would get jittery before they would come on, like anxiety, and she would start
Mm-hmm.
drinking. And she would watch Baddies, Bad Girls Club, and she'd watch all those violent reality shows, but she'd be drinking to do it. And I think that's when she started drinking heavy, these shows. Not to blame the shows, but it's her. She's a grown woman, but I think a lot of this played a part in her decline, and
Right.
it sucks because I can correlate it because I'm like, she wasn't like this the first 3 years, but 2018, she was just, I had to send her home. I sent her back to Florida twice because she was getting so drunk that she wants to fight. She attacked my barber. She attacked me. She was attacked.
Mm.
She was crazy, crazy. And I'll be
Yeah.
honest, and
You are
I
really are
couldn't do the
shallow because
violence.
you know how to pick them. I think, bro, I feel like I'm the most sane out of all of them. I have my issues. I've displayed, I can take accountability for some of my behaviors. I've definitely displayed some shit. You know what I'm saying? But I
You know
think
what it
out
is,
of
Joy? You be doing too much pimping. You got too many dudes. You got a lot of dudes.
do not
You
listen
got a
to
lot of
Rico.
pimping.
Rico has no idea what
You
he's
got a
talking
lot.
about. I do not.
She
I
got
am
a
a
lot
one
of pimping.
woman man. I
She
am
got a
a
lot of
one woman man. I'm a
hey,
one man
she
woman.
got a long pinky nail. All
Oh
right,
please.
her pimp hand is strong, boy. She got a lot of pimping
Mm-mm.
going on.
Mm-mm.
She wear a
He
meat
don't know
coat
what he
around
talking about.
Dallas.
You said what?
Hey, that's it. I said you wear a mean coat around Dallas. You just pimping. You pimping all over Dallas. Okay.
Shut up.
And that's the only thing about Joy. She always got a dude somewhere. There's always a
Well,
man that's in love with her. She got a lot of men in love with her. And if you're a guy that wants to be with a woman that gets that much attention, it can be tricky because it seems like you're
yeah.
always trying to talk her out of cheating on you. And a
Well,
lot of men a
I
lot of
don't
men
cheat.
can't handle that. I'm not saying you cheat. I'm just saying you want to talk women like you out of cheating on them.
Oh
Because you're like,
yeah.
damn, can I trust her? Because you don't know, because she has so many men everywhere. Anywhere she goes, there's men that are in love with her. And I mean,
Well.
she's lovable. She's lovable. She's real cool, real pretty.
I mean,
So
I definitely have
she's a flight
my
attendant. So she has that flight attendant sex appeal. Yeah. Mile high club stuff.
I definitely have my limits though, especially these days. You know what I'm saying? Like I have to
Yeah.
choose what I do very, very wisely because, or who I do it with very, very wisely because at this point, I'm getting older and so I have to start looking at what my legacy is going to be when I'm not here anymore. And I really don't have time to be wasting with someone that is going to still be doing stuff that we did when we were in our 20s. You know what I'm saying? Just like you
Yeah, I mean,
said, the whole marriage thing, the whole and if I'm unable to get someone that is going to settle down with me or marry me, then I'm not
but
going to be sad either way.
let me ask you, Joy. Um, if you were to get somebody that wanted to marry you, what would that look like on a day-to-day basis? Like, how do you stop yourself from entertaining your other men friends?
Well, I mean, it's all about what's important, you know? I mean, attention is
Um,
not as important to me as it used to be. Like I'm dead ass. Like
can you
if
can you
all
can
the
you can you cut off all your men, Joy?
I can. I have. What do you you might be the only one that I have not cut off. And we
I
don't
appreciate
talk,
that.
but we don't talk all the time. We
I
have
answer when you call me.
gaps.
I answer when you call me every
Okay,
time.
and right. You know what I'm saying? Or you know what I'm saying? You might call me and I'll answer the phone. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? But
yeah.
we do have extended gaps in between when we talk to each other. You know, I don't talk to you all the time. I sometimes don't like there's like we will have long gaps without even seeing each other. I will call you and ask you for advice about certain things. You know what I'm saying? Like I call you to consult you about things because I know that you have knowledge about a lot of things, you know.
Yeah,
And you'll give
I
me your
appreciate that.
honest, unbiased opinion. Even if it hurts my feelings, you'll give me your honest raw opinion. And
Yeah.
so that's the reason why I will never cut you off because you know, outside of a certain relationship that we have, or have had, the first thing that the most important part of our relationship is our friendship, you
Our
know?
friendship, and that's the thing, Joy. Like when I talk to you, I know that you'd be a good woman, but I just know sometimes, right? Not all the time, just sometimes you're combative, and you don't like nobody telling you nothing. And I think that's when you and your parents was having words because Joy is very set in her ways. And I'm like, if you end up getting married, if you're set in your ways, like how do you
My
like
parents
something
and
have
but
to
for me and okay, and here's the thing. I don't mind receiving constructive criticism. I take accountability for whatever I do, right, wrong, or indifferent. I don't have a problem with accountability. What I have a problem with is, I know sometimes I feel like I am correct in my and what I'm feeling and what I'm trying to convey. And when somebody is trying to go against that, then that kind of bugs me a little bit. But
Oh, Joy,
but
we got a person, Joy, we got a person in the audience. They want to know what you bring into the table. I don't know if they're asking me or you, but
what I
okay,
bring to the table,
yeah, man, asking just what do people like for me? I would say the only thing well, for one thing, obviously I'm a provider for the home.
yeah.
So I'm a provider. I do I think I would just I don't know, I think I would bring to the table that I would be a great husband as long as you just want a husband that's not going to lie to you. Cuz I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to be honest with you about everything. But then
Right.
again, like I said, I don't want to be somebody's cheating ass husband. So, I mean, I'm also conflicted on that too, because I've been in relationships where somebody was like, oh, I love this about you. And then after we're together for a while, they're like, oh no, now I hate this about you. So, like when
Mm-hmm.
you first get with them, they love that you're funny, that you're outgoing, that you like to be adventurous and spontaneous. 6 months later, they hate that you talk to people when you guys go out together. They hate that you make jokes and women laugh. They hate that you spontaneous and you don't pre-plan stuff in advance and give them warning. And it's just like, Jesus, now I just wasted 6 months and I got to break up with you. And the breakup is an instant. You guys are on again, off again for another few months after. So now I'm damn near at a year of a wasted relationship. So I don't know. I'll be honest. When it comes to what I bring to the table, it just depends on what you like to eat. because what I'm because what I'm bringing to the table is not necessarily going to work for all women. It's not one size fits all. You know, for me and Joy, because of our lifestyle, it would work for us. But I wouldn't say it would work for every woman. Like now, like Danielle calls me the other day and she's like, "Oh, I was going to come visit you for your birthday." I said, "Oh, no, you weren't." She just told me the other day she doesn't want to she don't want to mess with girls no more. She don't want to do this and this. I'm like, well, then this isn't going to work. That's all we ever did.
But listen, what I want to say is that I don't necessarily have to do all of that. Here's my thing with you.
Not all the
Listen,
time. Sometimes, but Joy, sometimes, come on, every now and again.
Listen. Here's my thing with you. You know, I'll come over there and it'll be a whole situation with 5 people. And I could be laying in the same bed with y'all. I will take my motherfucking ass to sleep and let y'all do that. And I'll sit up on my phone
And let me
and
tell you,
watch y'all. I will encourage them.
And listen, Joy. That's why I'd marry you before anybody else, because the fact that you're not gonna complain if that happens,
at all.
Bro, do you remember Reese? Do you remember my ex-girlfriend Reese, the one back in LA? That's why me and her broke up. And because so one day she was like, "Oh, I'm not feeling good. I don't want to go out." I said, "Well, look, I'm gonna go out. You can just go in the room and go to sleep." So I end up going to the club, and then, as typical Rico fashion, I meet some at the club. I take them all to the after hours. We leave. We get to the after hours. We get smacked. And then I got 3 girls with me. I'm like, come on, let's go back to my house. So we go to the house. I don't even wake her up. I'm in the living room. I'm in the living room getting it cracking. She wakes up at like 6 in the morning, walks in the living room, and it's just like, I'm like, what do you care? I'm in the living. I'm not even bothering you. Go in there and go back to sleep. She makes a big ass fuss about it, packs up all of her stuff and moves out. Okay. One of the girls that was there was her name was Amber. She's from Texas too, from Austin. Bad. She was a supermodel, a fitness model. She was like, well, look, remember I was supposed to move in with you and her, but if she's moving out, can I move in? This is like the same time that Reese moved out. And it was the same exact morning, 6, 7 in the morning. And I was, I was so high and drunk. I told Amber, like, yeah, you can move in. So then Amber moves her stuff in. She goes and gets her stuff out of storage, moves into the house with me. Reese tries to come back at like 6 o'clock at night. And she's like, Rico, whose car's in the driveway? And I was like, I forgot, I got something to tell you. And she was like, I just moved out this morning. I said, this is LA. Things move quick. What do you want me to do? This is LA. Like, things happen fast. Like, the early bird gets the worm. And she broke down. She shaved all her hair off. And I mean, I felt terrible because I thought she told me she was done with me. She didn't want me no more. She literally moved out. So then the other girl moved in the same day and she was destroyed by that. But then again, her mom doesn't live in LA and neither does her sister anymore. So she was living with me in LA. You're not in a position to break up with me every 5 minutes. You got to pick your battles, okay? Pick your battles. That's a story. If you're in the audience and you're listening, if somebody can't afford to leave you, should they still leave you? Because I don't know. If I couldn't afford to leave you, maybe I should try to figure it out. But thinking that you have the high ground and can just leave somebody, or you're threatened to leave someone, is your leverage to get them to behave differently? I think that's abuse. And I think that's manipulation. Instead of just letting me be myself, you're trying to mold me. I don't appreciate that.
Right.
Exactly, Frank. Women are crazy.
That's the thing that I appreciate about. That's the thing that I've
Exactly.
appreciated about you from your honesty.
Hey, Reddy said it exactly, Reddy. Because she couldn't punish you, she ended up punishing herself. Think about it. She couldn't hurt me. Moving out didn't hurt me. You just opened up the door. Now another woman took your place the same exact day. And she thought she was beautiful until she saw Amber. And she smashed Amber once time with me before. And she broke down because I upgraded. And then Amber had me on a meal plan. I'm working out because Amber a fitness model. She had me eating muffins. and going to Starbucks and then doing cardio. I liked Amber was cool. Amber was cool, but
Rico, you know what I think? You know what I think we should do though?
yeah. Hey, women do think they can change, man. I don't know why, bro, but think about it. You shouldn't want me to change. As a man, you should want me to be the same consistent person because don't you need a stable, consistent man as somebody has to be the foundation.
I was getting
Women
ready
live in the clouds. Somebody has to be on earth. We both can't be in the fucking clouds all the time. Somebody has to be on the ground, on earth, grounded. Okay. Somebody has to be in reality. Women can float off into imaginary land of love, and whatever. I don't have that luxury. Women can wake up and get mad and say they want to break up. Men don't have that luxury because we need stability. We
should go to
stability.
Lagos.
You said
Sorry,
what?
That was a random thought.
I'm not
sorry.
playing. I'm not about to go to Legoland with you. Are you crazy? What if I step on one and hurt my foot? I step on a Lego. It's gonna break my foot.
Shut up. You know you know where I'm talking about. Anyway, I think we.
You mean Lagos, Nigeria?
Yeah, Lagos. It's not called Lagos. It's called Lagos.
Legos. Isn't that where Anthony Joshua just almost died in a fucking car accident? You trying to take me over there and give me an accident, Joy? Is that what this is? You trying to put me in a car accident, Joy? That's what you want?
Gonna be in that part.
You gonna have me on the freeway? I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna be on the freeway with a bunch of Nigerians. Oh,
okay,
no.
Baddie. Okay, Baddie.
See,
when you go?
Okay, Baddie we can do. But obviously, look at Joy. Her first suggestion, she want to go to a country with a gang of niggas. Motherfuckers, why would you suggest a country? That's like somebody saying, hey, Rico, you want to go meet in Jamaica? No, I don't.
Yeah, I love Jamaica. What do you mean?
I bet you do. I bet you do getting your little mud bath. God damn it. We going to Colombia. We going to Thailand. We going to Bali. We going away from niggas. We not going to the niggas. We going to the women. You trying to go to the men. I'm going to the women. Okay.
Well, I'm not going for the men. You know, I used to live in the DR and I'm probably going to move back.
Hey, you guys, what's the other word for this right here? It's called cap. And that's exactly what Joy is literally doing. You are not going for the culture. You're going to be there flirting with your little pretty eyes and your braces, and you're going to be looking at folks, looking at you. You be walking around with your little tight dresses and your heels. I know what you're doing, Joy. I know you. Okay?
No. Let me tell you something. When I was in the DR, I had a little dude out there. And I
know your girl married one. Your girl married and had a kid by a guy.
Yeah, she's out there right now. And I can honestly say that I do not desire or fancy any Dominican men. It's just that because they are a product of their environment, and I mean, you're Caribbean, okay? You're Caribbean. You're Cuban, okay? You are intelligent. You speak 4 languages. It ain't the same like them. Them, they not you. You are a different kind of Caribbean. Even my ex-husband is a different kind of Caribbean. Them niggas over there in the DR, no, they beautiful, they and all of that, but I can with my full chest and my full confidence tell you, I would never marry a Dominican man.
Because
never.
they're okay. Depending on what Caribbean country you're from, we're not used to money. So we're used to working out. We look good. We're very friendly, and we know how to be sensual. We're good. We're good for sex, but we're not good for work or doing business because we're from communist countries or poor socialist countries in the Caribbean. Like being Cuban, our people are known for doing business. There is no business under communism. That's why we come to the United States. So when I'm here, we came to the United States to work. We came here to decide our own destiny. If we wanted to just be like on welfare, we could just go back to Cuba and then just live and just dance all day, and we eat mayonnaise and lamb and rice, and we just hang around indefinitely. No goals, no nothing. But it just depends on where you're from and then what kind of attitude you're going to have, So the United States is good for me, but it's not good for all Caribbean people. No, not all Latinos. No.
At this day, at my age and where I am in life, like if I'm going to, which I am, you already know how I am. I
know you dip. Yeah, you dip.
So I'm looking for a new country to move to now. I'm going back and forth between Bali, Thailand.
And I've been hearing good things about Bali, but I've also heard they're very strict. So I was thinking
Strict
Thailand
about
has
what?
just, if you're partying, and they got strict laws over there, really strict laws, from what I've heard. But it's also in the
I
middle
mean,
of the
but
ocean. I always wonder about, like, is there going to hit by a tidal wave or something one day? I always think
yeah,
about that. It's
that's
just in the middle of the fucking ocean.
you have to weigh your pros and cons. And then also too, I was thinking about Greece, but what
Nah, not Greece.
what's
I
wrong
don't
with
want. I don't
Greece?
want to do European. There's too many refugees, and they have a lot of issues right now with the whole globalist stuff and bringing in the third world, turning the first world into the third world. It's like the UK. They're having a lot of issues. They brought in way too
Mm.
many immigrants from Northern Africa and the Middle East, and it's just a takeover. So the Europe's cooked. Unless you're in
Mm.
Poland or Hungary, Europe is cooked. So I would think I'm not gonna lie. I've heard good things about Brazil, but they're cracking down on expats. Colombia, I love Colombia, and I live down there right now. I still got a place,
Oh
but
yeah, Colombia's another one. Medellin.
yeah. But you're talking about going out. You're talking about going to, like, towards Asia. And I'll be honest, bro. I don't. You know what?
Wherever it's
I'll be honest with you, Joy. I used to have yellow fever. I don't per se anymore. So I'm not really into, like, a bunch of Asian chicks like I used to.
yeah, because when they get older, they don't necessarily stay looking the same
Hey, somebody
as they
said,
get older.
are they under Sharia law? A lot. Yes, the ones they bring Sharia law. If you are born under Sharia law, you always stay under Sharia law. So even when
Yeah,
you go to another country, you're still going
but
to live by
is
Sharia law. Oh, and
but is
Frank
Bali
said his
like
ex
that
did this.
though?
And Frank said his
They're
ex did the same thing. She got her car money and then left and shot the energy through the roof. Yeah, that's
but
exactly how it
Sharia
is,
laws
Frank.
in but Sharia law that's not in Asia, is it? Not in Bali, not
Yeah.
in well,
Indonesia.
but
Think about it.
they're
Indonesia.
Buddhist.
Indonesia has the largest Muslim population. How far is Indonesia from Bali? And
Oh,
Singapore.
okay,
It's all
okay.
in the same region, I
Or
believe.
maybe I'm thinking about Thailand. I don't know. My best friend is
Well, listen, I'm
Japanese.
hearing, Joy. What I'm hearing a lot about, this is the thing that's ringing everywhere. There's a place in Vietnam called
Oh
V
yes, yes,
Vietnam, bro. I'm
yeah,
like, wait a minute.
yes.
I'm hearing a lot of
Yeah,
good things.
I am hearing of good things about like
You know what
Saigon.
somebody told me? They said they asked these Vietnamese people, how much money do you need to make per month to be rich? And they were like, oh, you got to make, like 70,000, whatever their currency is.
Mm-hmm.
It turns out that's only $600 American, and you're considered rich in that country. Rich.
Yeah, I'm gonna do some
So
research. I'm gonna do some research on that, and we might need to go take a little trip out there just to see what it's.
you gotta think about it. I have a new company opening up, Table for Two. That'll be in a few months, and I'm gonna have to
Mm.
manage a lot of it because a lot of it's all my tech stuff. But I could afford to go now. I mean, I'm choosing to pay all these goddamn high ass mortgages and all that stuff because I'm in business. The easy way
Right.
out is just for you to move somewhere that's really cheap and you just surf through life and just hook up with chicks and just party. But
And
some of us,
everybody that's listening, Rico knows that I'm probably the best girl to take on like out of the country trips with. Like he knows I'm
I
the
don't
favorite.
need you. Listen, I don't need you getting a bunch of new friends and followers from my channel taking up your time. That's for me. Then I gotta fight one of these niggas. Hey, bro, which one of y'all trying to look up? I
No,
was,
I'm talking about for you to take me. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm
yeah,
saying. We
but
need to
Joy,
go over the
everybody,
top.
everybody knows who you are now. Thousands
Oh
of
yeah,
people are
they do.
watching this over the next couple of weeks, and they're gonna be like, "Who is she? I'm a hook. I need to say hi to her." They're gonna find you on social media. Somebody's gonna
Oh
wine and
God.
dine you and take you away from me. Then I'm fucking sitting
No, they're
back here
not.
watching
I have
Natalie fucking
willpower.
Nunn.
I have willpower. They can't take me away from you. They can't do that.
Okay, cool. Well then, look. Okay, have at it, guys. She
Never in
said
a
that.
million years could anyone
See,
do that.
see.
I got game.
You are hilarious. You about to have a bunch of friend requests on your.
No,
Wait,
I
are you on
don't.
YouTube? Or what are you on?
I'm on your StreamYard.
Oh, okay. So let me see here. Do I see your profile picture? Does it say your name? It says your name, but it doesn't have
You
your
should.
Instagram.
You
Okay,
should.
it doesn't have your Instagram.
Wait a
This
minute.
is,
But my
wait,
profile
but Joy,
pic
I know you're a flight attendant, but have you been to any of these countries yet?
to where?
Any of these,
Yeah.
like, Thailand, Philippines, Vietnam, Bali, um,
No.
I don't want to go. I don't want to go to Japan. There's way too many. Apparently, it's a bunch of black people over there
Oh well,
acting crazy.
I have to
Korea
go
might be
there.
cool. What about
Well, I
Korea? You
have
been to
to go to
Korea?
Japan because my best friend is Japanese, and we want to go over there. Right now, I'm
Your friend?
actually
She lives over there, or she lives in Texas?
no, she. I'm not answering that
I
question.
was just saying, Joy. You know, I like her, bro. Well, you said I ain't gonna like her no more, but that's fine because she got a
Well,
man.
let's not talk about that.
Well, she got a man. Okay, I'm like, I don't even want to. We got to look. This is what me and you got to do. When I get back to Texas, we got to go out and we got to just find another black and Asian girl that looks like her to replace her. That's
Why
just
she
20
gotta
years
look like
younger.
her? There's other ones that are beautiful that don't look like her. With like,
I don't know. I don't know. That's I don't know. I don't know. That's a tall order. She was cute
oh my.
and she was with the shits too, from what I heard.
Okay. Okay.
Man,
Anyway,
you
like
know
I was
what I'm saying? You know what I'm
saying,
saying? You know what I'm saying?
we gotta,
But Joy, which country have you been to over there and did you party?
I've
Because I've
never
never
been to
been to none of those.
Asia.
You never been to, as a flight attendant, you've never been to Asia?
I've only been everywhere else I've been. I've just never been to any. I've never been
Yeah, I've
to
been everywhere else.
Indonesia. I've
Yeah.
been everywhere else. I've been to the Caribbean. I've been to Europe. I've been everywhere. I just have not. That's why I want to move over there. I will move over there by myself. I don't give a
Oh,
flying.
you're
I'm
always
not gonna
talking
wait
about
on
going by
nobody.
yourself. I'll
Yes,
be honest.
you
Hey,
don't.
I'm down to go. I'm down to go because you got to think about it. Before my new company opens officially, there's a lot of it's going to be me just getting everything set up preliminary. So during the preliminary stages, I can pay $7,000 a month and stay in Houston or rent
Mm-hmm.
or rent Houston out and then go to either Columbia because I'm setting everything up online anyway, virtually. I don't
I
have to
know
be
why
there in
you
person.
like Columbia.
Oh yeah, I got a video. I posted a video on here about my last trip to Colombia.
Oh
Yeah, did you see it?
God.
You didn't see my video? It was like an hour long of me and the
No, I
homies,
didn't
my
see that. I
cousin
didn't see the
going
hour
up.
long. I just saw like the clips. Oh
Oh
God.
man, it was so hey, bro, the baddest chicks. You know what's crazy? This one chick I was kicking it with, I seen on a Passport Bros page. Somebody took a picture of her at the beach, and she was on the beach like looking like a model. I said,
Not a
"Damn!"
passport
On the
bro
page. I be
page.
following the Passport Boy pages on Facebook. And I said, wait a minute. That's my bitch. I was like, I sent it around like, nigga, they
Wow.
got my damn bitch on the page.
A
But she was
mess. Oh
hey,
my
she was
God, it's
cold
almost
though.
4 o'clock. I need to go to bed
Okay.
because I have an appointment in the morning
Do
in
your
a few
thing,
hours.
Joy. Do your thing. You
But
got my
yeah,
number.
I don't mind calling in. I'll call in again.
I mean, I do the politics and the
Of
health stuff, the
course.
vaccine stuff, but then I also do the relationship stuff. So, and I have a lot of experience with relationships because I go through breakups all the time. And then I also go through, they come back. So that's why I have so much experience because my ex is, it's like a rubber band situation where they go away, they come back, go away. So
Yeah.
a lot of them
Yeah,
are in LA and they're trying to get me to come to LA. It's just that I hate LA now. I just hate going to LA. I hate going to
yeah, it's not
California.
the same.
It's not, bro. People don't even want to go to clubs. Everybody want to do house parties or Airbnb parties because it's just too dangerous to go to a club because if you get robbed and killed, no one's going to do an investigation. There is no police. We don't have police anymore. You're just on your own. So I'm like,
Yeah.
I'll just stay myself in Arizona or I'll go back to Houston, go back to Texas. But when I come to Texas, you're going to come to Houston or what?
Yeah, I will come to Houston.
You a
Matter of
lying
fact,
ass man.
no, what I'm supposed to be going for something. I can't remember. I'm supposed to be going down there for like a debutante ball or something like that. But
Oh,
yeah, I'll be in Houston.
well, look, you let me know when, okay? Just call me or whatever and let me know what's good, baby.
I definitely will. And everybody is, I'm Joy. So remember who I am.
Well,
JoJo.
we love you, Joy. We love you. So, I'll put your contact information in the chat.
Right. Right. Also, yeah, I'm gonna call you. We really do need to like link up, like talk to each other outside of the chat so we can because like I said, my birthday is on the
Yeah.
9th and you need to come since
Well,
you couldn't come to my mom.
Send me a little spicy picture and then I'll be there.
Oh my God. Look, here we go. Here we go. I gotta go to bed. Good night.
All
Love you
right,
guys.
bye. Look, it says I'm joking, but I'm really not. I really want that spicy picture. Yeah, LA is a dump. And I'm from LA. So for me to say that about the place that I used to love and adore so much, you got to think about it. It used to be nothing better in the world than leaving one of these other states and flying back to California. Because, we think California is civilization. You think everywhere, the way Americans look at the rest of the world compared to the United States, that's how California people look at the rest of the country compared to California. And if you're in LA, the Bay Area and San Diego are different universes compared to LA. And for me to go back and see what it's become, like, for example, I used to live on 7th and Spring. Last time I was in LA, I was on Spring Street. All of my favorite bars I used to go to, they're all still closed. LA Cafe is like a fortress now. And everything is still like they're barely trying to reopen still. And it was like out of 50 women that I saw, 25 of them were probably trans. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? Turns out LA County Jail is right down the street because I live in downtown LA. In Los Angeles now, the fastest way to get out of jail for certain crimes is if you start taking the hormones. So if you go and say you want to transition, they'll put you in a program where they can fast track letting you out of jail because they feel that if you transition to female or if you're pretending to be a female by taking these pills, then you'll be less aggressive and you would be less violent. So when you're wondering, how are people affording to take these medications to get these procedures? Well, they're giving them away for free in the jails in California, which has completely changed the landscape of the city. Completely. Damn, why is Chance the Rapper on your screen? Oh no, that's Cam Newton. Women should have to pay a fee to speak in public. Oh man. You don't make no sense. Yeah, but you're still here. You could, just change the channel, but you're here, so I must make some sense. Looks like Chance to me. Bro, Cam Newton being Chance the Rapper is insane. Oh, he does. When you look at him like right there, he does look like Chance the Rapper a little bit. That's a good point. Bro, this is, LA, bro. It's sad to just see my city like that, especially, being downtown, because remember, it took them a long time to get all the homeless people into a 2-block radius in Skid Row. It was like St. Julian and like one other street. To watch all that progress just completely become undone. It was all undone and the whole city was Skid Row within a year of the lockdown. So and then to watch everything. I know people that used to own the shops and the stores, and to watch them lose everything. It was hard, and I'll never forgive Gavin Newsom. I'll never forgive what they did to, my friends and family in California. I'll never be able to forget. It's hard. It's hard when you think about it, because it was such a fun, beautiful place, and then all of a sudden it's gone. It's gone. So, but yeah, bro. No, this was a good live. I didn't know I was going to be on for 2 and something hours. And bringing my ex-girlfriend over here to talk about all our personal business was fun. And, shout out to you guys who, have been talking to me in the chat. And thank you guys for those, for the Cash App donations. I see somebody sent me $2, somebody sent $5, somebody sent $8, and another, an $8. I appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, I'm going to use that to go buy some tea tomorrow from Starbucks. And, that way, and then I'm going to be back on to do some more videos. I have a lot of topics that I talk about. But this whole Natalie Nunn thing, her trying to embarrass Cam Newton, I'll be honest, it backfired in my opinion. Even though women are saying she did great and she won and she was entertaining, she's entertaining because she's not afraid to embarrass herself. See, one thing about Americans, we love to see people fall on their face. We love to see people self-immolate. So if somebody can destroy their own career in front of us, we're going to tune in and watch the show. That's entertaining to us. Cam Newton kept his composure. He didn't say anything rude to her or demeaning. He didn't put her down. But here she is claiming to be a victim. Oh, he's degrading to women. He's demeaning to women. If you think all that, why'd you go on this show? He was no different on this show than he was on any of his previous shows. So obviously, you know his show. If he's so bad, why'd you go on there? It's just that these women don't want to hold themselves accountable or think about their behavior. So it's whatever. You know, I mean, he did a good job. He was masterful in not letting her provoke him into saying something that they were going to get a soundbite out of. And I think he's learned his lesson. He's been doing these interviews. And, you know, that's the thing that sucks. You got to bite your tongue. Like, I'm talking live right now. This is live. So I don't get to go in and edit things and clip and all that. You know, I don't have that luxury. But then again, I don't want to be in a situation where I can't just speak freely. I trust me, when I talk about freedom of speech, it's not for the speech that people want to hear and they like. It's for the abhorrent, terrible things that people hate. That's the speech that needs protecting. Not the speech that people like to hear. It's the speech people hate that needs to be protected. So when someone comes on your platform and they're going to threaten you, if you say certain things, they're not going to mess with you or deal with you and they want to censor you, I take that personal. So that's why I won't even do interviews with people who I can't talk about what I want to. Like I did one with Blanche a couple of weeks ago and it went great, but he didn't censor or tell me what I can and cannot talk about. We were both on the same page and I like that. But with somebody like her, especially when you're on a platform with the woman, the victimhood is always their their go-to. They're going to lean on that. So anytime they can make it out to where you victimize them or you said something offensive, they're going to take it and they're going to use it to try to, you know, beat you down and beat you into submission. I'm just not going to go for it. So screw it. But yeah, Cat Williams. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, you know, trust me. I'll for entertainment purposes, I would literally bring on all my exes every day. And I think they would like to come on because a lot of them, like, you know, I tell people our first argument is our last argument. So they'll think that they can play games and say this and this to me. And I'll be like, all right, and I'll just hang up and block you. And you'll be thinking like, was he a figment of my imagination? Did I ever know him? Because I can't find him on nothing. He completely just ghosted me because you don't want to fight anymore, especially when it's over something stupid or when they just want to fight for attention. That's annoying too. But I'll bring them on here so they can talk because it is entertaining talking about our sex lives and all the fun stuff that we've done and then the arguments. I forgot she came to visit me when I was in Europe. She flew all the way from Texas. And on day one, she was so mad at people speaking German in Germany that she left me. Well, then we started fighting too. So yeah, gossip does sell. That's true. Stop crying. I'm trying not to cry. No Cole Jones. Trying not to cry, but I mean, I laugh so hard that you cry. That's how it goes sometimes. I hope you guys are subscribed to the YouTube channel, The Single Boyfriend, Rico Limbaugh, because I do all these different episodes and I come on here and I talk. So if you guys are going to be in the audience, I like interacting with you and talking to you, especially if you left a donation on Cash App. I appreciate it. I just set it up a few days ago, so you guys are the first people to actually use it. So I appreciate it. And like I said, I'll be back on here with more content. I do like when you guys send me stuff to talk about. So my email is on my profile, The Single Boyfriend Rico. Send me an article or whatever, and I'll give you my opinions on it. And that's kind of how I've been doing my show lately. Like a lot of these are topics from people who follow. They just send them over to me. I've been talking a lot about the Somalian stuff too. But when it comes to the relationship stuff, there's been some high-end divorces that have been happening and breakups. And I've been going over those. So if you guys would tune in and I've been support those videos too as well, I'd really appreciate it. So how is she mad about them speaking on their own language? Bro, because she said that because she's from Texas, you know, she never really left a lot. You know, when you're an American, you're really American. You know, some people are super American. And, you know, she was like, they're just pretending to not speak English. They really speak English. They're just faking it. And I was like, Joy, they really don't speak English. And I'm translating for her and she's getting mad. She's getting more and more mad. And I'm like, this is crazy. But when I tell you she is the most fun woman, she's hella good looking. She's lovable. And, she's with all the business, all of it. So I go back with her. I love her. And she doesn't judge me. You meet women sometimes, and the first thing they want to do is kind of tell you about yourself, but they do it in like a slick way. And they're like, oh, really? That's what you do? Oh, yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't know, but yeah, I mean, for you, that's fine. For you, it's good, but not for me. Like kind of how Natalie Nunn was. And it's kind of like nice, nasty. And as men, if we're shallow like Rico, you put up with it because she looks good. And you're not just willing to cut her off immediately. But I got to get better on that because some people you shouldn't even deal with that at all. All that judgment is it's eventually going to come to an end, and you're just wasting more and more time with this person. You can do better. I can do better. We can do better. And there's nothing wrong with thinking that. Women want to convince guys that they can't do better. They call you broke. They call you lame. They say you're not that good looking. You're not a billionaire. They pretend that they only sleep with men that give them $1 million every time they have sex. And women are lying. They're lying. No one's giving you $50,000. That's, how much that CPN is? That cost per nut, 50 grand. Bro. Stop listening to these liars. They don't have the results to show you that they even know what they're talking about, but they're criticizing you, and you thinking you should listen to her. Don't. She's trying to manipulate you and trick you because she wants to control you. And the best way to do that is demoralize a man and just beat him into submission. You don't have to put up with that. I'm not putting up with that. We're not putting up with that. But then again, my channel is more male centered. I believe in male empowerment. I'm not about female empowerment. I'm not an ally. I'm not with any of that shit because without men, there's nothing. We built everything. We are the foundation for everything. While women get to run around and play games, it's coming down to us men to make sure the families are staying together. Women are no longer the guardians of the home. It's men. A lot of men are taking care of the kids and the woman done already took off and she's off doing whatever. And men are at home, so everything's kind of changed in the country. And we're trying our best to keep our families together. But if you look at all these different agendas that are breaking us up, feminism took our wives away. The gay agenda is taking your kids away. So that's why we have to figure out how to bring them back. That's why, people talk about Sharia law, but I'm like, that sounds like the cure to feminism. We can use Sharia law to get rid of feminism. Then we can push Sharia law to the side. But Sharia law is going to bring things back into focus for some people. It's already kicking ass in New York. And these women are going to be like, you know what? I need a man. I need a husband because getting my ass kicked on the subway every day is just not the answer. And you're not going to be able to lean on police anymore if you're in these big cities. There's no more police. There's no more police in big cities. So you're going to need a husband. Yeah, they do try to make you believe that you're beneath them in class, and you're not. You're not. She's literally, think about it, historically, women have only survived because they find men to leech off of or manipulate. And typically through marriage, they get alimony or through child support. But now, because men won't marry them or get them pregnant, you got to be careful. You got to videotape your interactions because they'll make an accusation against you and have her lawyer call your lawyer and say, hey, we might go to the police and say this, this, and this. I need $2,000 a month. You won't believe how many women have cases that are not even with the police, but where they have a lawyer who's negotiated where she's getting $4,000 to $6,000 from 5 different men every month. And then she's pretending she's a boss babe with a business, but no, you're just legally extorting men because he's a high profile entertainer or athlete. And she pretended that she woke up the next morning and forgot where she was or what they did. And she has her lawyer contact his lawyer and say, you know what? She wants to go to the police, but I think we can work something out. And for the next 3 years, she's going to need this much per month and blah, blah. Man, that's how a lot of women are living out here. And people don't even know that. They don't know. And because we're men, even though we go through that, we'll still go back and try to meet another one. We are a glutton for punishment because that's the one addiction men can't kick. A man can stop gambling before he can stop dealing with women. That's just it. That's just it. Eric Klein. I mean, if you say so, it just depends on who you ask, Eric. You might be right. I wouldn't know. I mean, I'll take your word for it. Yeah, black extortion. Yeah, because you got to think about it. If you're black, you're an easy target too, because nobody believes you. Because, I mean, the culture is of violence and so people are going to automatically assume that you're like that anyway. You see how that black chick tried to get Ty Lil, made up that story about him. Oh, he assaulted me because she was mad that, well, he had a girlfriend and she wanted him to pay her like thousands of dollars for giving it up. And he was like, nah, I'm going to call you an Uber. And then she's like, no, I want a black truck Uber. I don't want this regular car Uber. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. But a lot of people were believing it at first. And now it came out she was lying. He's been vindicated. And I'm not hearing enough apologies from the women that were trying to destroy this little dude who's a content creator, little streamer. Sad. So we all have to be on guard because these women are getting desperate. They're getting more and more desperate every day. They are willing to accuse anybody of anything. They're even calling a man looking at them for too long or a certain way. They're calling that visual assault. I've seen that too. And it's because they want you to settle out of court and give them some money. So that's why a lot of people now, we work out, we go to work, we save our money, we fly to other countries, and we date women in other countries where it's cheaper to live and the women are more conservative and traditional and they worship you like a fucking god. Don't you want to be worshiped like a god from your woman? I do. I don't want to be treated like an equal. I want to be treated like a god. Yes, I like yes, sir, no, sir, pick up my shoes, clean up and cook, clean. Man, I like that. I don't want to argue. You need to do this too. I don't want to hear any of that. I want you to look at me like Jesus himself. Okay, that's what I want you to look at. I don't want to know we're not equals. This is all on my dime. This is all on me. I built all of this. You are coming into this. I need to be treated like Zeus himself. Okay, I'm the god of thunder. Said, when I'm putting it on you, you better act like you get hit with a lightning bolt too. You better play the role. I don't give a fuck if you like it or not. Play like you like it. Tell me, because you got to think about it. In the United States, women have every incentive in the world to leave you and hit you with child support or break up the family. If you give it a woman in another country, she has every incentive to figure out how to work things out with you. Because once you're gone, I'm gone. They're trying to figure out how to keep a man around. So you know what that means? Less complaining, less talking shit, less back talk, and more just trying to show you that they're a good woman that you should. Think about it. If you get married in another country, you're not really married. You're like fake. You're fake married. The only mistake you can make, and this is what I learned this from my appraiser. I have a friend of mine back in Houston. He's an appraiser. Badass wife from the Dominican Republic. Fine as hell. But I don't be looking at his wife. I looked at her. I don't look. I'm not looking. I've looked. I looked once. I'm not looking actively at his wife, but I looked. Does that make sense? You look, but you're not looking. The point is this. Me and him was at dinner and we were going over some work stuff. And he was like, you know what? The worst mistake I made, I should have never brought her over here because now she has citizenship and really I could end up in the same position I was in before her, which is divorced, paying alimony, and kind of just, up shit's creek without a paddle. He was like, if I would have left her in Colombia, left her in Cali, and never brought her here, Cali, Colombia, then she could never have divorced me and try to get me for some alimony or for some money or sue me. That's only stuff that you can do in the United States. In these other countries, you're on your own if we break up. And that's how it should be. So the incentive is for these women to figure out how to get along with you. And it's not you trying to figure out how to beg to get them back because they're going to sue you like here in the United States. And people don't realize these other countries are only a 2-hour flight away. Actually, you're closer to Colombia than you are to New York, if you think about it. So You got to, oh no, you're closer to Costa Rica than you are to Kentucky. So this is a big country, you know, and these places ain't that far away. So you got to expand your horizons, but it's a trap over here. And until the laws change in the United States, you know, they're gonna just keep losing men to marriage in other countries, and the women here are just not going to be getting pregnant or getting married anymore. It's like a bad batch, unfortunately. You say, yeah, I was just talking about that earlier. Shame on her. Yeah, yeah, brother, you ain't lie. I appreciate you, Dave Grease. Pause, man. Look, I'm not gonna call you Dave Grease. I ain't greasing up no nigga named Dave, bro. I'm gonna call you Dave G. I'm gonna call you DG. DG. I appreciate that, brother. I'm trying not to lie, but I'm just telling you, bro. I ain't call you Dave Grease. We're gonna have to come with another name, bro. Yeah, we gotta come with another name. Wild facts. I appreciate that. Hey, I'm glad you got. Hey, listen, this is a channel for us to talk. This isn't a channel where women are going to come in here and we got to pander to them and say, oh, but yeah, but you too. But you too. No. That's why everything's falling apart. Pandering to women has literally destroyed our society. Everything is out of whack. Everything is upside down. Nobody's getting married. Nobody's having kids. Or if they do, you know he didn't really want a kid with her because he only gave her one. Remember when we used to have brothers and sisters because your dad actually wanted to be with your mom? Now everybody's just having a one-off because they never liked this woman and she's insufferable while she's pregnant. So you're like, the hell with her. I would never have another kid with her. Remember, people used to have brothers and sisters. That's not even a thing anymore because nobody's getting these women pregnant on purpose. Why do rappers live in white communities? Because white people are safer. Dave G, bro. That's my guy, Dave, bro. You Dave, bro. That's a good spirit, bro. I appreciate that. Obama's not black. I don't know what, I'll be honest. I don't even know. I think black is a rolling definition. I don't even know what that is anymore. What is black? As far as I can tell, black is really just a lifestyle choice of bad choices. Because people say if you make good choices in life, those are the hallmarks of white supremacy. So if you decide to work and pay bills and you don't shoplift, you're acting white. But if you steal and you have a fucked up record and you do all these bad things all the time, then now you're black. So it seems like it's not even a racial thing. It's just more of a selection of bad decisions or good decisions. And that's how you know if you're either black or white. So that's why I say it's a rolling definition. White lives do matter. And my boy Dave G. Why do rappers? Yeah, we just went over that. Coach K, I appreciate you, Coach, bro. Thank you for becoming a subscriber. Like I said, I try to be entertaining. My ex-girlfriend was just on here with us, and we were talking a little spicy. And then she said, "You know what, Rico? I forgot. My mom watches your pod." I said, "Oh Lord," but I'm like, man, Joy, you grown. I'm pretty sure your mama know her daughter a little. Hey, yeah. She know her daughter Lahaim. I'm just saying, like, I don't think she would be shocked. Whites absolutely died to free blacks. That's why I don't understand why Juneteenth is a national Thank a White Man holiday for freedom. Because all the history records show that it was white people that died and fought and they gave you freedom. It's not like black people did a revolution and they won and they started their own colonies and then they destroyed their captors and they won freedom. Like they earned it. It was a gift. It was just given to them. Like they were just chilling, maybe picking some stuff. Maybe they wasn't. They probably could have been off that day. I don't know the schedule on how it worked and as an indentured servant. But then somebody white just said, "Hey, you're free." And they were like, "Free to do what? Where do you want me to go? I have a really good thing worked out with the landowner and I get free room and board and I get to, and I'm gainfully employed. Where do you want me to go?" And I'll be honest, if you look around, it seems like a lot of people have been lost ever since, and then then the black community was really good for a while. And then this man came and destroyed everything called MLK, convinced you that the state owes you money and that the state should solve your problems. And then a lot of people just kind of gave up on life and said, I'm gonna just sit around and wait for some reparations. And then he forced integration, and then all the black-owned businesses were destroyed. You know, Harlem didn't always look like that. Those buildings didn't used to be abandoned. Before Martin Luther King, those buildings were filled with black-owned businesses. Dentists, grocery, doctors, psychiatrists, podiatrists, physical therapists. They all had all these cities you go to where they have all the abandoned businesses in the hood and ghetto. Those were not abandoned buildings in the hood when before integration. When black people had to go to black-owned businesses, those were thriving, amazing businesses. You know, that's like the crazy thing about the whole Rosa Parks thing. Not only did her husband have a car, but also there was a black-owned bus company that ran the same route as the white one, and they just were two separate buses at the same stop. And she could have just rode on the black bus. But her starting a boycott, they boycotted all buses. So guess what bus company went out of business first? The black one. So that's why I don't like all those fake civil rights fuckers. They lie also and they grift. And then after the fact, oh, maybe I integrated everybody into a burning house. Then you figured out, nigga, figure out how to do everything goddamn else. You couldn't figure it out ahead of time. You had zero foresight, MLK. You didn't see that coming. But you saw everything else, but you could not see that you were going to literally burn your own people and everything they built to the ground. Remember, before that, black people owned farms and they worked and they took care of their families. They were not waiting on handouts. No other community, well, I can be wrong now because I'm learning now that all these other communities of immigrants are coming over here, begging the government and getting paid. They just don't do that for Americans. But for immigrants, they give them anything they want because then again, they're buying your vote. And these people are not true immigrants. They're not migrants. They're just people who are paid to move to the United States. And people don't realize that. People are in other countries, they're recruited. Like in Somalia, they call they call it a terrorist group, but what they are, they're really an NGO. Billions of dollars have been sent to them for what? Well, what do? Well, they recruit Somalian families to come live in the United States so that they can increase congressional seats in districts and so that they can be guaranteed voters for whoever they tell them to vote for. And then they give them a stipend per month. And the reason they don't talk to you Americans is because they don't want you to find out how much money they're being paid for just living next door to you. Now you know. Now you know. Yeah, Malcolm X tried to warn people. People talk about Malcolm, but then they want to forget everything he said about Democrats or about white liberals who are really just gays. White liberals hate white people too because they're gay. Gay whites hate straight whites. Gay whites don't even consider themselves white. They just consider themselves gay. I'm from New York City and you're not lying about that part. Yeah, I appreciate it, bro. I'm glad you guys see. The thing is, we can sit here and resonate. If it doesn't apply, let it fly. There are going to be some people that are going to tune in and say, I don't vibe with any of this. None of this makes sense to me. This is just alien talk. He's speaking gibberish or some kind of or Cantonese. And then there's going to be some people that are going to be like, you know what? I can see that point. That makes sense. We should talk about more stuff. This, for me, you guys are watching this on YouTube. For me, this is a think tank because we can bounce ideas off each other and we can, talk about stuff. So I appreciate you guys being here. I appreciate you guys being here. Democrats use y'all to get rich. Absolutely. And they absolutely get rich. Like Ilhan Omar, $30 million evaluation in less than 6 years. And nobody knows what she does. Nobody. That's crazy. The greatest hustle ever. I didn't know. If I'd have known politics was so lucrative, I probably would have got in sooner. Since everybody wants to be, if everybody's looking for somebody to just say some stuff, I can do that, and I'll just leave my body of work right here on the internet. So that way people, when they want to do a press conference or know my thoughts on certain issues, just come to my channel and type in whatever the question is. And I'm pretty sure with all the shorts that I do and these videos, I've pretty much answered every question under the sun by a certain point. So, yeah, Eric, I appreciate you too, bro. Thank you. Yeah, you know what, Dave G, bro? I mean, I'm sitting here just, sitting here talking to you guys. This video with Natalie, it just bothered me, and I had to get on here. We had to talk about it because this is what these women do to us. They just demean us and they say anything they can to get under our skin. And then as a man, you can't say anything anymore. or you're considered sassy, which is basically another roundabout way of trying to call you gay. You know, watch. Like look at this video. Let's see here. Where is it at? There we go.
To that, like, Cam, like at one point you gotta understand, like, there's no way in life that you can take an L and you're a superstar. You're the number one quarterback. That, bro, what the? AJ. You get all the way to Super Bowl and don't get a ring? Delusional. I want to talk about that.
Talk to me.
What kind of fucking idiot monkey, what kind of chimp is going to say, how did you make it to the Super Bowl and you didn't get a ring because you lost? It's 50-50 odds if you're going to win or not. It's only 50 odds. You made it to the Super Bowl, which is already an achievement on its own. You're a superstar quarterback. You made it to the Super Bowl. You lost the game. How the fuck is that delusional? It just shows you that these women are wired weird. And also 90% of the time, their alcohol is talking for them. They make no sense. And she's trying to get under your skin. She's trying to get you triggered so that you might push her or hit her. And then she's going to pretend like the reason she can't work for the rest of her life is she having all these issues is because you touched her. You have to get away from these toxic women. There's people right now that are not even typing in the chat. I'm talking directly to you. Leave her. If she gets drunk and she's waiting for you, she's trying to provoke you like this, leave her, because one day she's going to press that button and you're going to snap. Leave her. Because these women are insane, bro, and they're all drunks now. I mean, I deal with, don't get me wrong, I go out all the time, I party, I kick it. They're all, this is an epidemic that's like no other. They're all alcoholics now. You should have seen the girl I was with last night. Bad as hell, beautiful. I'm embarrassed to say this, but you know, I'm a thug. I thugged it out, but bro, she's here. We used to talk a few months ago. You know, I used to knock it down a few months ago. She ended up getting married out of the blue to some fucking African dude. And then they broke up like a week after the wedding. I was like, what kind of, but she's like a party girl. She's just pretty as hell. The cutest, finest. And she's like 29. She's like not like a young chick. She's like, but she's like petite and beautiful. And she came over here last night after leaving a well season over here in Scottsdale. And, you know, we're partying. You know, she came over to my house. She's like, oh, let's drink. Let's have drinks. And I'm like, all right. And, you know, anyway, she tells me, oh, yeah, you know, I got a new boyfriend now. We live together and I'm pregnant. And I was like, fuck. And I was like, damn, man, well, shit, you know, man, we're already here. we're here. So, you know, you gotta see it through. I had to see it all the way through. And then this morning, she wakes up and then she wakes me up at like 8 o'clock in the morning. And she's just blabbering like she's still drunk, just wanting to talk. And I'm like, don't you have a boyfriend to get home to? Like, do you want to be that guy that's just sitting at home while your chick's out pregnant, getting smacked up by some dude named Rico? Don't be him. And don't be so shallow that you let these women get away with anything because they look good, man. You deserve better for your mental health. You don't want to be like one of these other dudes that just crash out one day because you see all this domestic violence and stuff. You're like, damn, what happened? It's because it built up inside him for God knows how long. Because I'm thinking, I remember last night, I'm mopping it up. Bye out. Then, you know, she goes to sleep. I go play Fortnite. She's sleeping in the room. She leaves her phone in the living room. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. Her phone's blowing up. So I pick up her phone and I take it in the room and she's asleep. I put it in her hand and say, hey, somebody's calling you. But the dude is calling her all night and all morning. And I'm like, you wouldn't even, like I'd be calling you to tell you your shit's outside. But she's so beautiful and he's so lame that he's not going to kick her out because he can't replace her. He probably never had a girl that good looking. She knows this. She knows it. So you don't ever want to be so what I'm trying to do is talk men off the ledge because I deal with so much of this stuff. So I'm like, look, don't be that guy. If you're going to be somebody, be me. Be on the receiving end. Don't be on the guy. Don't be the guy getting it done too. Be the one doing the do. Don't get it done to you. You gotta be better than that. She is wild. That sassy is straight to flat. I don't understand how those two correlate. I don't get it, Dave. How does him losing the Super Bowl turn into delusion? I'll be honest, I don't think she understands the definition of the word delusion. It's kind of like people that use the word fascist. They don't even know what it means. They just say it. So I don't get that. But look at her. Look at all the personal digs she takes into a man she just met who was kind enough to invite her on his show.
I know, I'm an athlete. I was an open 400 runner. I ran the 450.
I heard you was in the Junior Olympics.
Seconds flat. I've never took an L. I ran with Allison Felix. I ran with all the best of the best.
She said, I never took an L. So she's saying she's never lost anything to anybody. She's lying. She's a lying, drunk piece of shit.
I went to USC. You know what it is. Like, when that, like, you can't get there and not perform. It's up.
Somebody said, where's my white woman? She is at home right now. She will be here tomorrow if you want to talk to her.
But don't lose.
Listen at your stupid lonely. I'll be honest. I wish I was lonelier. I wish I was. But first things first, I have 3 rescue dogs. So that helps. And then I have too many girls who like girls that are always around me. So I wish I was lonelier. I don't really have a lot of time to myself. I don't even know if I wish I did. I don't think being alone is necessarily healthy. I'm from a big family, so it's used to being me and my cousins or my brothers. My family's all boys. It's not like, so it's a bunch of dudes. So you hang out. It's kind of like your friends, So I'm not really used to being alone. I probably should spend more time alone. Actually, being in Texas, a lot of my family's on the West Coast. So there were months where I didn't have anybody related to me. Just me and a bunch of girls hanging out. So that was kind of lonely, but for the most part, I have sufficient company.
Mom ever told you if you got in a fight at school and they hit you first, what you gonna do back?
She brings his mom into this.
Yeah, I know your mama told you that. Wait, because you're a little soft, a little bit.
Wait a minute. See, that's when if he would have got up, took off his the hat from fucking Desperado, if he would have took that hat off and just like fired her shit up and just teed off on her, I wouldn't have understood. Did you see that she just called him fucking soft? Did you see that listen, look, let's go back. Let's go back a couple of seconds. She called him soft on the slick.
I ran with Allison Felix. I ran with all the best of the best. I went to USC. You know what it is. Like, when that, like, you can't get there and not perform.
So she's saying he got to the Super Bowl, and it's not because he was playing against other professional men who are also top less than 1% in the fucking world in their sport. It's not because he was playing against competition. It's because he got there and didn't perform. So now she's insulting his work ethic on the field. She's trying, look at his face. He's trying to hold it in, and he did a masterful job. But that's why I reverse engineered this video, and I went to when she's upset about why because she's only doing all this because he asked her, what does a baddie bring to the table? So now she's trying to destroy him because she wants him to break character and lose his temper. But he held it together. Look at his face and look at her bringing up. The Super Bowl was 2016. She's bringing it up like she was fucking there. She's a piece of dog shit.
It's up, but don't lose. Your mom ever told you if you got in a fight at school and they hit you first, what you gonna do back? Yeah, I know your mama told you that. Wait, because you're a little soft, a little bit. So do
you see that?
So
who saw that? Who heard that? Who heard that? She said, "Oh yeah, because you're soft a little bit." Yeah. Bro, I don't know what situations she's ever been in, but like, with equality, I believe in equal rights, but I also believe in equal lefts. This some stuff you just can't. I don't know. I don't know how much. I don't know if that's. Why is it fair for her to insult him like that, and he can't even fight back? This is why men don't invite women on podcasts, and this is why men ignore women. And she's way too comfortable doing that shit. You're absolutely right. Yeah, that's the truth. You know, the thing is with the police, they don't want to get involved with the federal government's immigration. So that's why they use ICE. And they said that basically all the jails will be full of illegals in some cities because they've allowed so many in. If you were just arresting them, you'd be arresting them all day, every day, and then that would take up city resources and they wouldn't be able to go out for other crimes. So that's why we have to all of a sudden have ICE. So we do need ICE. Let's see here. She needs to sit that cup down. Abso-fucking-lutely. You have to make some time for yourself. Yeah, you know what? I try. I'm going to try to do better. I'm going to try to do more later. It's just, I'll be honest. I like company. I like people being around. I like tripping off of women. Yeah, they get drunk. They overdo it. And, even last night, she thought I was drinking with her. So I was just like fake sipping. And she's just go. And I'm like, why do you want to get so drunk? But you know why? It's because she doesn't respect her man at home. She doesn't respect him. So she's like, I'll do whatever I want. And I'm like, damn, and she's saying she's pregnant. I'm like, we're in trouble. Get your passports, boys. You don't want to be him. Get your passports immediately. Because there's a bunch of women that are all little versions of Natalie Nunn that are here in the United States. You leave them English-speaking people alone.
Have you been in any other real fights in your life? I want to know for real. Like, just tell me if you've been in a fight before.
No.
And
real
no one's ever tried you? Like,
newsflash, lady. Everybody doesn't live in the fucking trenches. A lot of boys grew up to be men and never actually been in an official fight. It's not everybody's calling to be hyper violent and drunk and like you on Bad Girls Clubs or Baddies or whatever the hell you're calling your show. That's not everybody's calling. Some people were literally athletes from very young. They were sheltered, they were protected, and they probably went to school with other civilized men. Fighting is it's fight or flight. Now, that's a life or death situation sometimes. Most of the fights I've been in, I've considered them a fight to the death. I wasn't waiting. I wasn't trying to shake your hand after. If we're at that point, then we're there. And I'm not really trying to come back from that. So everybody's not going to grow up in that type of environment where violence is the answer. Some people have more sense. And here she is trying to promote violence as if his lack of experience in violence invalidates his manhood, which is ridiculous.
In the like not in the locker room, but I mean that sounds crazy, huh? I meant like one of your teammates ever been like,
see, she said, oh, a man never tried you in the locker room? That must sound crazy, huh? And she's basically taking shots at how he's dressed, and she called him soft. So she's basically calling him gay. She's insulting a fuck out of a man. Not only is he just a man, he's a father of 9 children. So you got sons and you letting this broad sit up here and call you gay in a slick way with a slick mouth. And all he can do is just sit there. He can't say anything because when you're dealing with women like this, there's no right answer. That's why I said any man that is dating or messing with these women, he's a domestic violence case waiting to happen. He's a walking DV case because eventually it's going to happen. And then you're not going to be, and it might not go in your favor depending on how hard she cries. And if you don't have any video, if it's your word versus her word and her word has tears behind them, you're cooked. You're cooked.
You just told me to ball, stop. And no one trying to press you and right out of like,
see, that's the thing.
Come on, Cam. I don't want to do this. Like,
we need to discuss, not yell.
Oh, I yelled.
No. I'm not saying you. I'm just saying if you feel.
So you've never swung. And have you ever been in a fight with anyone that's been a teammate of yours, not on the opposite team, teammate? Don't lie. Like, I hate liars.
Anything to provoke a reaction out of him. Anything. She's burnt out. She's all the way burnt out, bro. All the way. And it could be you. It could be you next. You meet some chick, you think she's cute, think she looks good. She's American. So you think, okay, she's normal. We both speak English, right? You guys go out for drinks. The first drink at dinner is cool. Then you go to a bar. to get to know each other, have another drink. Then all of a sudden her behavior changes by second, third drink. Now she's not that sweet little princess anymore. Now she's Natalie Nunn. She's on demon time. She wants, eventually you're having conversation with her, so she's learning about you. And then in the future, she want to test you to see what you're going to do. So she throws stuff in your face that you've told her in confidence. And you're just shocked because you're like, why are you saying this? I mean, look at Cam, bro. Looking at him, he is a perfect example of what men have been going through for years now. Years. And she's the reason why men have just walked away. Think about it. I'm watching all these body cam footage. I'm like, why is there so many women? Where are their husbands? Where are their boyfriends? All these different women are getting the police called on them, or they're purposely acting up in public, and they're begging for someone to call the police because they want male attention. They want a man to grab them and tell them what to do, because no other man even cares anymore. All the men in their life have walked away. So these women are really good looking too, and they're begging the police. They're acting like they're going to hit the police. They're doing it because they want male attention, because all the men in public have left them alone. So the only people now that are forced to deal with them are police, because police have to deal with you. That's part of their job. They can't just ignore you. The rest of us can. I did a whole segment about that. I'm actually going to do another video about it. Just more proof of my theory. Because so many men have walked away from these women, they're purposely throwing themselves in front of the police to get arrested, because that's the first male contact she's had in weeks. And you're the only person forced. She can yell and scream at you as a police officer, and you can't really do nothing to her. You got to just take it. So, I mean, and a lot of other men can just walk away. They can't walk away. So that's a part of my theory we can go into also. Yeah. The military are the heroes. They put their lives up to defend the country. They don't know when they're going to be called, and they don't know when their life's going to be taken in defense of our country. So you got to, respect the military people. I wish they hadn't did the whole vaccine mandate thing to you guys. We lost a lot of our best soldiers since then. Yeah, bro, they just acting up. They acting the ass, acting a fool, bro. Watching her on these segments, it's just disheartening, terribly disheartening. How did I get logged out of fucking TikTok? Because that's where I put these videos on TikTok. Let me see. She's just literally one question about what does a baddie bring to the table, and she lost her mind.
What, you think I'm dumb? I didn't want to answer his dumbass questions. How about that? And I did it. And I interviewed him, and he answered mine.
His dumbass questions. Really? I would never, ever invite her to do an interview, because, right now she thinks she's big shit because of Zeus. One day this Zeus stuff will be over, and you have zero longevity because you treated people like shit when they wanted to work with you. Because don't get it wrong, somebody inviting you on their podcast is somebody wanting to work with you. It's really a collab. Your audience becomes their audience and vice versa. That's the reason it works, So for her to get on here, this is directly after the interview, and she's literally just talking shit. Let's see here. Cam Newton, Natalie. She's just a complete rude piece of trash. Look how she exited. This is how she exited.
Can I get one of your hats? Like, okay, I'm about to go shopping in this. He got a hat here.
Whoa.
Where one of the hats out there? That one right there off the wall. Cam, your hats are trying to fight me. I want this one right here. Thank you. Okay. I'll be my big one. I got give me my hat. Thank you, baby. Mwah. All right, guys, we gotta go. Cam, you don't like me no way. I already know that, but I'm taking your hat. Hey, y'all, give me my drink. Hold on, come on, for real.
Look at her. He never once in the entire interview said, I don't like you. He never called her out of her name. He didn't degrade her. But here she is saying, oh, he's degrading to women. He's judgmental of women. When he puts women down, he's saying all this shit. She's saying all these accusations against him, and he was nothing but polite. Think about it. That hat is extremely expensive. He had it as a wall piece, as a decoration. He doesn't even wear it. It's a custom hat. And she steals it. And he did not even want to seem like the bad guy stopping her from taking it, especially on video. So he had to just sit here. Like, I'll be honest, this morning. So my aunt brought me some Christmas gifts, right? Brought me some brand new sweats. Because she knows I'll be wearing sweats, it's wintertime. Why did that chick this morning got dressed? She wore clothes here. And then she was like, oh, let me put on your sweats. And I'm like, can you take them off before you leave? She's like, yeah. Doesn't take off my sweats, literally leaves with my sweats. I'm never going to get those sweats back. So I'm pissed about some $15 sweatpants. That hat looks custom. I would say $3,000-$4,000. And she just stole it, and she's going to talk shit about me on the internet right after she leaves in my stolen hat that she doesn't plan on paying for or returning. Like, and then look at the audience. Look at her. Look at what is going on, honey. And she's laughing. Zeus Network. They all think this is just hilarious. This is sick, bro. This is shameful. This is a shame. It's embarrassing. And the fact is, there was no right answer. I look at her talking.
At USC, back-to-back champion rings. Didn't get there to lose. Got there and performed. Got there and won. Winner, chicken dinner. One game, one championship games. Defense really wins the game.
Obviously, Cam Newton won way more games than you fucking slimy broad. Do you know how many games you had to win to make it to the Super Bowl? And you sitting up here talking about some shit you don't even know about. You just talking.
Anyways, so you lost, and because that defense of whoever you played against really was the champions. Defense wins the games.
Yeah, they won. They were playing another team of professionals. It's 50-50, bro. This is...
Baby, I'm far from a dummy, playboy. I'm sitting here like, damn, this man really degrades women, looks down on women.
Hey, I appreciate you tuning in, Eric. I hope you followed the page. There was another person, Eric, that sent a cash app. If that was you, thank you. If not, I'll see you hopefully tomorrow. I'll be back online. I'll be on all day tomorrow.
And praise on women. Heavy on praise on women.
He prays on women. Do you hear what she's saying?
Like, damn, this man.
Do you hear the bullshit she's putting out there about this man's name? Look what she's putting on his name. Look.
Really degrades women, looks down on women, and preys on women.
Running the full victim gauntlet. She was a blacked out drunk bitch the entire podcast. Rude as hell, nasty, stole his hat, and the dude sat there with respect, dignity, and poise. He sat there with poise. He took it in stride. And look at what she's saying about him right now.
The champions. Defense wins the game.
Bringing up his football career, which you must not know anything about because you're criticizing it.
Baby, I'm far from a dummy, playboy. I'm sitting here like, damn, this man really degrades women, looks down on women, and preys on women.
Preys on women? What the fuck does that even mean? What do you mean he preys on women? What are you talking about? You're lying on him. You're trying to embarrass him and insult him. And guess why you're able to do that? Because he was nice enough to bring you on his show. So whose fault is it really? Is it hers for stabbing him in the back, or is it his fault for trusting her? Because you got to have a level of trust to want to bring someone into your space, have a conversation with them. There must be a belief of at least a borderline decorum. He trusted that she would behave. And now look, she's calling him a predator, because to prey on somebody means you're a predator. She's calling him a predator. And then she says heavy on the prey. So that she's calling him a big time predator, but she can't name anybody he's ever preyed on or anybody he's hurt. She's just projecting herself, because remember, on her show, they prey on the minds of slow, low IQ, broken women. They prey on them and they degrade themselves to entertain these women. She's projecting, full projection.
I'm far from a dummy, playboy. I'm sitting here like, damn, this man really degrades women, looks down on women, and preys on women. Heavy on praise on women that he thinks that he can manipulate, be sarcastic to, and play in their face. I'm not the one. I'm far from the one. I'm far from the two. Baddie ain't down 10,000 points. Y'all so funny in here. Baddie is up. You know how much up we are? And look at those numbers on that YouTube. And look at those numbers on that YouTube, baby.
Yeah, because we like watching women self-immolate and disqualify themselves because we now know what type of women and which women specifically to fucking avoid like the plague. We know. We need this information. So of course we're going to watch. We need to know who to stay away from. These women are dangerous. These women literally, men lose their lives and their freedom behind these women every day. And guess what they do? They go on about their lives laughing.
Cam got ran off his podcast. I love you, Cam. We cool though. We locked in, twin. Clock it, Cam. Hey, clock it, Cam.
What the bro? This is disgusting. This is disgusting behavior. But again, as men, we have to say no. We're enabling this behavior by rewarding these women with our presence. We let them come in our lives because we want sex, and we gotta do better. You know, the juice isn't worth the squeeze. It's not, the sex is not worth the risk we're taking to deal with these women and what we have to put up with. It's just not worth it. It's not worth it. So as men, we have to collectively do better. It's kind of like a united front. You know, we got to just say no, which we are, which is why so many of these women are now flying to other countries trying to spy on passport bros, because they're like, why are all the men leaving? These men don't want to. I had a girl tell me a couple weeks ago that the guy she was seeing, he said instead of taking off for his birthday, he's going to fly with his friends to Medellin. And she was like, he's going to spend his birthday money going to another country. He's not taking me out. I said, well, yeah, he's replaced you already. He doesn't need you anymore. All we need women for is sex and temporary companionship, somebody to talk to. Everything else, we're men. We don't need too much. And when that becomes too dangerous, if you can find some other woman that can take care of that, even if you only see her once every 2 months, that's good enough for us. We're fine with that. Long distance, we can, if you can do it with another part of the country, you can do it in another country. It's the same thing. You can do better. Yeah, bro, we got to all do better. So anyway, like and subscribe. Please share the video. If you can, come over to YouTube, like the channel, Rico Limbaugh. I'll be back on tomorrow early. I got some work stuff to do in the morning, but once that's done, I got some other topics to talk about. And I want you guys to come tune in and talk to me. I appreciate the Cash Apps. I appreciate you guys' time. I appreciate your comments. And I'll be back on to entertain you some more tomorrow with some news. We're going to go over some news topics and some relationship stuff and some politics. So tune in and let me know your thoughts. And remember, guys, America first, America only.
I've been needing to find a new apartment, which has not been easy with credit as bad as mine. Luckily, I found cosigning.com. They connected me with a cosigner who helped me get my dream apartment for me and my dog. I just paid a small fee and was able to move in fast. Get the cosigner you need for the apartment you want. Check out cosigning.com today.